All right, we're going live, 5:45. Just getting the live streams going. Bear with me one moment. All right, we're live on Instagram. We're live on YouTube. Have two different views on YouTube. We got the vertical and the wide screen. And we're on Instagram as well. So we're live on all three. Excellent. And let me say, it is good to be back. There's our first live stream of 2026. And looking at the YouTube chat, I see we got John and we got Dave. Hey guys, good to see you. I missed you. I was going through withdrawals after a couple weeks. So good to see you again. Got some familiar faces here. Hopefully we get some new faces in here as well. We have some new scams that we're going to go over that we didn't go over last year at all. So we have some new stuff, new content. Starting off the year correct. And we're going to kick this off in a couple more minutes here. Just give everybody a chance to join. And I actually have some phishing emails too, some new phishing emails I'm going to show you and warn you about that we're seeing coming in. We're going to go over some new scams of 2026 to watch out for. Lots of good stuff. If you're just joining, say hi in the chat. Let me know you're watching. Hit that thumbs up. Give us a like. Subscribe. Follow. We need all the help we could get. We're going to be streaming live for at least 3 hours this evening, maybe even longer. So now's the time to share this live stream, get some friends in here, get some people in the chat. We'll kick off the new year correct. We get started in about 3 minutes here. We also have the free mailing list you could join, scamaware101.com. You hit join mailing list. That's the best way to keep up to date with what's going on, get reminders when we're going live and release new content. We'll send you some scam warnings and scam awareness tips as well. All good stuff. So it's free mailing list, scamaware101.com. We get started in about 2 minutes here. First live stream of 2026. Woohoo! I'm excited. Got my coffee cup full, caffeinated. My Scamaware 101 travel mug, still available on our store. Over on our YouTube store and on our website. Hey, it's been Dave and John. Hope your New Year's were good. Get started soon here. Anybody that's just joining for the first time, let us know. Say hi in the chat. Give us a reaction over there on YouTube or hit that thumbs up and like over on Facebook and Instagram. And by the way, if you don't follow us over there, take a minute, hop on over and give us a like and a follow over there too. It always helps. We get started in about 1 more minute here. 1 more minute and we're going to get into it. We'll see how rusty I am. It's been a couple weeks. We'll see how rusty. One more minute to go. I was working on a countdown video. I'm like halfway there. So I was hoping to launch it with the new year, but I didn't get that one done in time. But it's all good. We'll hopefully have that one coming up soon. It's a little countdown video for the coffee breaks and leading up to the live streams, like for right now. It started in less than a minute. Hit that thumbs up. Let me know you're watching. Give us a like, a follow, subscribe. Get this live stream shared on whichever platform you're using. Let's get some more people in here. Lots of useful, informative information that we're going to go over this evening. It's important for everybody to be aware of and know. Thanks, Dave. Appreciate that. All right, 5:50. Let's get this started. All right, people. Welcome, welcome. I am Jared with Scamaware 101. And we do this live stream every week to spread awareness about common scams that target individuals, just like you, me, your friends, your family, ordinary everyday folks, right? So we also spread awareness through other ways. We do social media campaigns. We have a free mailing list you could join on our website, scamware101.com. And we release videos on YouTube, so check those out as well. A lot of scams we're going to discuss tonight we actually have videos about too. So if there's a scam that you think a loved one should know about, or that we're talking about a loved one and want to share it with them, you could probably find a video about it over on our YouTube channel and share it as well. So make sure to head over to YouTube and hit follow if you're not watching us on YouTube right now. See some people in the chat. Say hi. Let us know you're watching. And look, how these live streams go, it's a free-for-all, right? We have the agenda up here, but hey, I'm willing to shake it up. It's all about engagement, participation. If people are asking questions in the chat, if they want to hear about certain scams, we'll go right into that instead. That's what's nice about these live streams. It's kind of like the Wild West, but at the same time, we can engage with the viewers and talk to everybody, answer questions in real time. We don't have to stick to the agenda for these live streams. So feel free to ask questions, participate. Let me know what you think. I want to hear about your experiences. What scams have you been targeted with? Which horror stories have you heard about these scammers? Because it's a big problem, right? The issue with these scammers is they want to take everything you have. We're not talking about scammers that are just taking like $100, even $1,000, right? They're trying to take everything you have, your life savings, your retirement funds. And, you hear all these horror stories from seniors and the retired folks out there on a fixed income, and they lose everything. They lose everything because of one mistake they made with a scammer, right? You can't blame them for that. It's not right what these scammers do. So awareness is key. Awareness is how you stop this, because if you're aware of these scams beforehand, you're more likely to stop the scam before you lose money. Because unfortunately, once you lose money, it's too late, right? These victims, they never recover the funds. That's one of the big issues here. Once the funds are gone, they're gone. The bank doesn't insure them. There's nobody that refunds them. The money's gone, right? So scam awareness is more important than ever now, because it's the only way you're going to stop these scams, being able to spot them. And we take a unique approach here over at Scamware 101. And what we do is we try to show you lots and lots of actual examples of scams. Real examples. Real text message scams, real email scams. We play recordings of some voicemail and phone call scams. We even show you some real snail mail, traditional postal service mail scams. Right? Because they're all out there. They're all targeting us every day from every direction. Doesn't matter how old, how young, how smart, how dumb. We're all being targeted by scams. And look, these scammers do it all day for a living. They do it all day for a living. No matter what you think, how smart you think you are, they have an answer to whatever question or whatever response you might have for them. Right? So awareness is key. And look, these live streams, that's how we do it. Every week. Every Thursday, 5:45 p.m. Be here. Subscribe. Join our mailing list. We send out reminders to let you know about the live stream. You got to keep these things in mind. You got to keep up to date with the news, what types of scams are going around, which scam alerts are coming out, what warnings are going on. And we're a great resource for that. So make sure to join the free mailing list. Like, subscribe, follow, tell some friends, share our content. It really does help. We really do appreciate it. If you want to help out by throwing a couple bucks and support our mission, we could do that as well. Scamware101.com/donate. You can donate directly. And we also have memberships and super thanks or super chats enabled over on YouTube if you prefer doing the YouTube donation. So hey, we'll take it. We appreciate anything we could get, but don't feel obligated. We're happy to just get a like, follow, subscribe. That helps too. Also, we do have some merch available over on our YouTube store, and you can access it on our website as well. At the bottom of our site here, we have the gift shop. Click it. Again, these are on our YouTube channel as well, but we have a bunch of mugs and mouse pads and a few other items here for sale to help raise some funds and support the mission over here. Coffee mugs, travel mugs. Got my travel mug right here. Keeping my coffee nice and hot. And you get your very own right here on the Scamware 101 merch shop. Now, what else before we dive in? Oh, and follow us on social media. We're on all your favorite platforms: Facebook, Threads, Instagram, X, Blue Sky, YouTube. We have links to all our profiles on our website, scamware101.com. So head on over there, check it out. Follow us on your favorite social media platforms. Join the free mailing list. If you want, purchase a mug or a mouse pad or some stickers. Help support the mission. Now, with that said, let's get into some of these scams, right? Because that's why we're here. We're here to talk about scams and spread awareness about these. So let's start off with road toll scams. And this was a very popular scam in 2025. There were so many variations of this road toll scam that was circulating. And how these road toll scams work is scammers impersonate road toll services like EasyPass, SunPass, and Fast Track and claim that an unpaid toll is due. Victims are usually contacted by text message or email containing a link to pay. However, the link opens a fake website designed to steal any personal or financial details entered by the victim. There never was an unpaid toll, right? And this scam has become more popular and more common because a lot of these toll services now, they do bill by plate. So people kind of expect that, if they drive through them, it might send a bill to their plate, and they don't know how it works. They never had it happen before. It's all new technology. So, hey, they get a text message, they think they went through a toll. It makes sense, right? Well, for all the people that got scammed, it made sense, right? So we need to watch out for these unpaid road toll text messages. In fact, any message you get that claims you have an unpaid road toll, be suspicious, no matter who they claim to be from. And I have some examples I'm going to share with you here. Final reminder, toll payment deadline approaching. Your outstanding toll fee is due by March 28th, 2025. Failure to pay may result in suspension of vehicle registration, financial penalty, damage to your credit score, and that has a link to the fake website to pay, right? And that's a common theme you'll notice with these scams is they try to use fear to scare you. They put threats in there, like all these scary things are going to happen if you don't pay. Suspension of your vehicle registration, financial penalties. It could be a scary situation for somebody if they receive this. Let me show you another example, because again, there's so many examples of these road toll scams. Here's another one. The toll road notice of toll evasion. You have an unpaid toll bill on your account. To avoid late fees, pay within 12 hours, or late fees will be increased and reported to the DMV. And then it has a link to a fake website, and they put SunPass in the website name. And they do that to try and appear more realistic. But it doesn't go to sunpass.com. It actually goes to com-etc-lsws.top. But they put SunPass in the name to try and be tricky. So don't fall for this type of scam. I'll show you a couple more examples. And by the way, see where this text message came from? It came from a 6-3 country code, right? So it didn't even come from a U.S. phone number. And that's always a red flag. If you get a text message from a country code outside the U.S., I'll show you a couple more examples here. Pay your Fast Track lane tolls by January 24th, 2025 to avoid a fine and keep your license. So this one was earlier last year. And this one, they put easydrivema.com in the website name, but it doesn't really point to Easy Drive, Massachusetts. So see how these fake road toll scams work? Here's another one. Please pay your toll in Florida by January 22nd. There's another one. Easy Drive, Massachusetts. Reminder, your bill for $6.99 is due soon. Please visit. There's another fake website that they put Easy Drive in the address. So watch out for these unpaid road toll scams. Excuse me. Especially this time of year, by the way. All these scams that we're about to talk about, this first group, they actually pick up more during and after the holidays. For example, expect to see these road toll scams because the holidays just passed. A lot of people were traveling for the holidays. So we usually see this scam pick up, because people are more likely to fall for it. If they were traveling for the holidays to Florida, for example, and they get a text message that says, hey, you missed the toll in Florida, they're more likely to think, wow, this must be real. But it's a scam, and it's a numbers game to these scammers. They send out so many of these text messages that they know a certain percent of them will be to people that have been to Florida recently or whichever state they're impersonating. Let me know in the chat if you've received any of these road toll scams. I know I received a bunch. It actually brings us to the next scam example here. And it's very similar to this road toll scam. This road toll scam, it actually evolved into a traffic ticket scam. And let me show you an example of that here. It works almost the same way as a road toll scam, except you get a text message claiming you have an outstanding traffic ticket. Right? In this case, this text message, it impersonates the Illinois Department of Motor Vehicles. They left out the word they left out the word motor in the text message. So that's a little bit of a red flag there. So I got tongue-tied when I read it. Department of, and they left out motor. But they put DMV. But anyway, this one impersonates Illinois. 6th Street Country Code again. It says, our records show that as of today, you still have an outstanding traffic ticket. In accordance with the Illinois Code 15C 16003, if you do not complete payment by July 24th, we will take the following actions. And then they go into the scary threats. Report to the DMV violation database. Suspend your vehicle registration. Starting July 25th, suspending driving privileges. Transfer to a toll booth and charge a 35% service fee. You may be prosecuted. Your credit score will be affected, right? All these scary things are going to happen to you, they claim, if you don't click that link and pay. And just to show you something here, so you can see that this text message, it impersonates Illinois Department of Motor Vehicles, right? It even has that little mistake where it leaves out the word motor. But look at this. Here's another report of a scam. It's identical, except it says Nebraska Department of Vehicles. It even has the same mistake where it leaves out the word motor. Nebraska Department of Vehicles. And it has, our records show that as of today, you still have an outstanding traffic ticket in accordance with Nebraska State Administrative Code 15C 16.003. It even has the same code. All right. Same threats. Report to the DMV. Suspend your vehicle registration. So what I'm trying to point out here is if you see a scam in one state, or one state is warning about a scam, especially a text message scam like this, it's in every state. Right? So here's just two examples right off the bat. Right? Nebraska, Illinois, exact identical text message, same scam. So watch out for these fake traffic ticket scams, just like these unpaid road toll scams. They're pretty much the same deal. Most of the time it's through text messaging. Don't fall for them. How are we all doing this evening? Good to be back. It's like riding a bike. I'm getting back into it. It's been a couple weeks. I have to refill my coffee mug sooner than expected, though. Say hi in the chat. Let me know you're watching. We're streaming live on YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook. Not really paying attention to the viewer account. I see some familiar faces in the chat, though. But if you're new here, say hi. Don't be shy. Want to hear what scams you're being targeted with? Let me know what scams you want to hear about. I'm here to answer your questions during this live stream. And we don't necessarily have to stick to the schedule here. It's kind of the Wild West and free-for-all in these live streams. But this next scam we're going to talk about. Actually, let me check in on Facebook and Instagram. See how things are going over there. Nah, not much activity, but say hi if you're there. This next scam we're going to talk about is an undeliverable package scam. And by the way, we're just getting warmed up, folks. We cover over 20 different types of scams on this live stream, so lots of examples to show you and share and make you aware of. So these undeliverable package scams. Victims receive fake notifications about undeliverable packages and are asked to click a link to resolve. The link opens a fake website impersonating UPS, FedEx, or USPS. Any personal or financial details provided by the victim are stolen by the scammers. There never was a package. Now, that's known as an undeliverable package scam. And we've seen multiple versions of this. We've seen text message versions and email versions. I'm going to show you examples of both this evening. But first, let's start with the text message version, because the text message version is actually the most common one, or at least in reports and experience. All right, so here's an example. And this text message, it impersonates UPS ground. Reschedule your shipment delivery. We attempted to deliver your UPS package on June 23rd. Little typo there. But we're unable to contact you, and the delivery could not be completed. Your package needs to be signed for in person, so please reschedule the delivery by doing the following. There's a link to the fake website. We're going to try to scam you. All right, so this one impersonates UPS, but we've seen them impersonate all the major delivery services. Here's an example of them impersonating USPS. So first was UPS, now USPS. Due to invalid address, you have a package that needs to be delivered, but it has been suspended to an incorrect delivery address. If you do not update your address before 24 hours, your package will be returned to sender. to delivery, there's a spelling error again, your package, please update your address by clicking the link below. All right, so UPS, USPS. There's a couple more examples. There's many different variations of this undeliverable package scam. Here's another one where they impersonate USPS. It's a group text. And what's interesting about this one is they renamed the group to USPS. All right, so I guess they do that to kind of make it stick out and appear more realistic, I guess. But you can see how they named it to USPS. Since the package does not have a house number, the package transportation is interrupted. Please update. And that has the link there to click. Here's two more examples where they sent a text message with an attachment. Right, this one even has the logo, the USPS.com logo. Dear customer, your package has arrived at the distribution facility, but we are unable to deliver it due to incomplete address information. Please click on the HTML file above to update your address. And this is a good time to remind everybody, never open attachments from unsolicited communications, people you don't know, or communications and emails, text messages that you weren't expecting, or even ones that just seem strange or off, right? Never open .html files that were sent to you. Those could be dangerous for sure. All right, and also just something to keep in mind, FedEx, UPS, USPS, they will never send you text messages like these. None of the examples I showed you, they will ever send you real text messages like that. In fact, they don't send you random text messages for packages unless you specifically requested updates for those specific package. You're not just going to get random messages about packages. So if you get any kind of text message like these, rest assured 100% they're scams. There's not a package. It's a very common scam, an undeliverable package scam. We see them impersonate every different delivery service you could think of. We've seen them impersonate DHL and other delivery services. So don't fall for this scam if you get a text message about undeliverable package. Also, I want to share this story here for a minute because it's a fun little story. I consider it a win when it comes to the war against scammers. It's a battle one, at least. I don't know about the war so far. But USPS text scammers duped his wife, so he hacked their operation. Right. So this is what happened. This guy's wife, this husband's wife, fell for this scam. Right. This undeliverable package scam. Well, I guess he was pretty good with computers, so he decided to hack the scammer's operation, and he was actually able to get in their network and discover a bunch of info about their operation. So he found out some fascinating details about what was going on behind the scenes, about the criminal organization that was running this specific scam or that specific scam. Right. So the first thing he found out is that this was a Chinese language speaking organization. Right. That doesn't necessarily mean they're in China, but they're Chinese language speaking. Right. And their organization was sending out 100,000 scam text messages per day. Right. So think about that for a second. 100,000 scam text messages per day. This was just one organization doing one scam, sending out 100,000 scam texts per day, right? So just assuming there's 9 other criminal organizations out there doing scam text messaging, right? 100,000 scam texts per day. I could pretty confidently say there's millions of scam text messages going out per day. Millions, right? Because it's a numbers game. So anyway, he gets into their network. He finds out it's a Chinese language-based group. They're sending out 100,000 scam text messages per day, right? But he also sees that they have 403,669 unique credit cards logged from victims, right? So almost 500,000 credit cards that they tricked victims into providing. It says many people entered multiple cards each, and they had more than 50,000 email addresses logged, including military and government email addresses. So look, everybody's falling for this scam. Military, government, all those people are falling for this scam. Right? 500,000 credit cards. So the scammers are having success. It's like, why do they do this? Well, that's why they just got 500,000 credit cards. Right? And the capability, 100,000 scam text messages per day. Right? So if you ever wonder why you get so many scam text messages, and once you're on these scammers lists, you're going to get them. So anyway, I do count it as a win, though, because at the end of the day, this husband, whose wife fell for the scam. He also was able to work with law enforcement to warn the victims who he found their credit cards on file. Right, so they were able to warn the victims and say, "Hey, your information's been stolen," and plus he discovered a bunch of information about what was going on behind the scenes. Some fascinating information too. So anyway, undeliverable package scams. Watch out for them. Don't fall for them. Extremely common. And regarding those, I showed you the text message version. Let me show you the email version. This one actually popped up last year. I'm assuming it popped up this year too. But you can see this email that was being sent out in November 2024 and impersonates FedEx. "We're sorry your package appears to be delayed. We regret to inform you that there's been an issue with your delivery of your recent FedEx shipment. We understand how frustrating this could be, and we're actively investigating what happened to ensure we provide you with the best possible resolution. As an apology, we'd like to offer you a compensation product up to $100 in value." All right, so this is an email version of that undeliverable package scam, except instead of trying to trick you into paying a redelivery fee, which is what the previous scam was trying to do, this one's trying to trick you into claiming a compensation product. And I'll show you what happens if you try to claim these products. But an interesting thing about this scam is on November 16th, you see this email impersonating FedEx. A week later, November 22nd, you get a same type of email, almost identical, except it's impersonating UPS. "We're sorry, your package appears to be missing. We understand how frustrating this could be. We value your time, want to make things right. We'd like to offer you a compensation product with $100 in value." All right, so you can see the similarities. It's clearly the same scammers or same scam kit being used. So watch out for these types of scams, whether it's text messages, emails. One method of communication isn't any safer than the other. Now, if you had clicked that link to claim your compensation product, what was interesting about this version of an undeliverable package scam is it actually evolves. It evolves into a fake retail website scam. What I mean by that is if you had clicked on this button to get your compensation, it would have taken you to a fake website offering these products. And here's an example of one of the websites it would take you to. You see it has a Black Friday banner, Black Friday sale. Notice it doesn't say anything about UPS or FedEx anymore because they just used that as a way to lure you in. And then they directed you to this fake retail website, which ultimately is there to steal your information. And they're probably using all different ways and lures to direct people to this site, right? Because again, you don't see anything, where it's apologizing from FedEx or UPS. So it's a completely separate scam, but they're using it. Anyway, and it's an example of a fake retail website scam. So what is a fake retail website scam? It's when scammers create fake websites to sell products that are never delivered. Victims are lured in by unbeatable deals and lose money once they pay. These scams often target holiday shoppers or those seeking trending items. All right, so we always make sure to warn you about this one during the holidays because a lot of the fake websites pop up. As you can see in the examples that I show, they got the Black Friday banner up there. But they're up and running all year round. Sometimes they take a website name and they'll reverse a letter and they point it to a fake website. So always make sure you're on the website you think you're on. But anyway, let me get back to these fake retail websites. So this is one example here, and they're offering you a wireless headphones. They say they're valued at $175, but you could have them just for paying shipping, which is a common scam line that's used. They pull you in by saying just pay shipping, and you can get this free item, right, worth hundreds of dollars. It's fishy, right? Here's another example. Same scam, same idea, except they're offering a portable heater. Right, $175, but you can have it now for free. Just pay shipping. But it's a scam. That's how they try to pull you in. Any info you enter is going to get stolen. Let's take a look at another example here. Right, it shows the wireless earbuds. Again, you save $175. Just pay shipping. But it's a scam. Don't fall for it. Any information you put in is going to get stolen. So that's an example of a fake retail website, which, you could end up there in many different ways. You can't trust ads, right? You could end up on these fake retail websites through ads, Facebook ads, social media ads, because scammers can purchase ads just like anybody else. Same thing with results, search engine results. You're on Google, you're searching, maybe you're searching for the item, or you get a sponsored listing back, offering you this great deal, but scammers can purchase those listings too. So you have to be suspicious, purchase from websites that you've never used before or don't trust. If you're going to, at least check and see if there's any reviews. Go on, Stan. Let me know in the chat. I want to hear from you. So that's fake retail website scams. Watch out for them. I'm sure a whole bunch of people fell for these scams during the holidays. We check in on a chat, see how everybody's doing. How we doing this evening? It's good to be back. We'll be streaming for a few hours this evening, so still plenty of time to invite some friends. Get some more people in here. And spread some awareness about these scams. Because look, these scammers are only getting more and more advanced. They're targeting everybody. They don't discriminate. They don't care if you're retired, a veteran, disabled. They'll take every penny you have. Yeah, I see a funny in the chat. Good to see a funny. We're going to continue with some more scam examples here. Let's talk about tech support scams. Look, these tech support scams, people fall for them, right? Especially the older folks out there. So it's important for the older folks out there, be aware of this. And for the younger folks, make sure the older folks in your life are aware of this one as well. But these tech support scams, what they are usually is victims receive a fake virus alert on their device, and they're tricked into calling a fake tech support phone number. The victim is unknowingly connected to a scammer who requests access to the victim's device. The scammer then steals personal and financial information from the victim. Right, and these tech support scams, they're a big problem. In a recent report, it came out in December, a recent government report, this was listed as one of the big scams that the older folks fall for, or at least reported, falling for. So, and what happens is when the victim calls up, right, this isn't your traditional, oh, you got to pay us $100 to remove a fake virus type scam. No, what happens is the victim calls up and the scammer says something like, these hackers and scammers are on your computer. They're using your identity. All your information's been stolen. They have access to your bank accounts, and you need to transfer your money so it's safe, right? And it turns into a much scarier situation once the victim gets on the phone with these scammers who are very good at convincing and lying to their victims. So these tech support scams, let's take a couple minutes here. I want to show you some examples. And by the way, I have a video about this with the same examples. And the other thing that's extremely dangerous about this type of scam is it targets everybody. It doesn't matter because it's a fake virus alert. It's just a pop-up from a website. So any device that you're browsing the internet on, your phone, a computer, Windows computer, MacBook Pro, iPhone, Android device, it doesn't make a difference. If you're browsing the internet, you could get a pop-up, one of these fake pop-ups that tricks you into calling. It's just, for example, here's a fake virus alert That impersonates McAfee. Your PC is infected with viruses. It's got the McAfee logo, the colors. Action required. Call McAfee helpline. It has a phone number to call. But that's the giveaway, right? A real virus alert won't have a phone number to call on it. Right, Dave? I know Dave's out there watching. I saw him shout me out in one of another live streamers chat the other day. Shouted out that tip. A real virus alert won't have a phone number to call, right? So you can see how this fake virus alert here is trying to get you to call a phone number. That's how you know it's fake. Let's take a look at another. This one impersonates Norton by Symantec. Threats detected. Call support. System critically infected. If you're not able to click on this button, immediately contact support. And what the scammers did, they made it so you can't click the button. So this way, even if you're trying to click the button, you're still going to think, oh, I better call support. But it's all part of the scam. Don't fall for it. Right? You can see how it looks realistic, though. They got the logo there, the colors, and they make it scary. Look at another one. This one impersonates Windows Defender. Has the Microsoft logo, has the Windows Defender logo, the colors. Access to this PC has been blocked for security reasons. Threat detected. Contact Windows support. Right, but if you call that number, it's a scam. Don't do it. I mentioned this type of scam targets multiple devices, right? It's not just Windows based. It also targets Mac users as well. And here's some examples of that. All right, big scary red letters. Virus found. Your Mac computer has 13 infections. Please call tech support as soon as possible. And that has a scary list over here on the left too. Another pop-up. Your computer has a serious virus. If you see this message, you should call Apple support at, and there's the fake number to call. Which again, that's the giveaway. That's how you know it's a scam. One of many ways you know it's a scam. If it has a phone number to call, it's not a real virus alert. Here's another example. Apple Care. Warning, macOS infected with viruses. And it impersonates Apple Care and says, please call Apple support. Has a number to call. It's a scam. You call it, you get connected to scammers. So don't fall for it. There's a tech support scam. And there's all different versions of these. I'm going to show you a similar version of these fake virus alerts for next. It's actually a new example next I'm going to show you. But these fake virus alerts, they target everybody. It doesn't matter what kind of device you're on. Computer, phone, Windows, Mac, Apple, don't matter. So don't fall for these tech support scams. Now again, if it has a phone number, that's how you know it's a fake alert. Hey, Katie, welcome to the live stream. Good to see you. Happy New Year to you, too. I've been getting fake employment texts from Costco and others. Hey, if you want to email me a few screenshots, I'll add them to the examples, too. I have a few employment text scams, but they're not, the examples. They're a few months old, though. So, love to get some new ones. Feel free to send them over. But good to see you. Welcome back. And you got here just in time because I'm about ready to go over a fake virus alert that I actually got this weekend. Not this weekend. I mean, not even this weekend. It happened on Monday, I think. I'm going to go over that scam right now, which is a brand new one. So good timing. And everybody else who's watching, good timing. And by the way, if you just joined, hit that like button. And if it's your first time watching, subscribe, like, follow. We're trying to spread awareness about these scams, trying to do something good and put the info out there. So every like, follow, and subscribe helps. We have memberships available, super chats enabled, all that good stuff. We appreciate you if you can. But hey, like and follow, we appreciate that as well. Just trying to get the word out there. We also have some merch available on our YouTube store. You could find a link on our website too. We already gift shop and merch. Have some mugs and stickers and things like that. Some water bottles. Want to help support the mission? We appreciate it. So this next scam that I'm going to show you here. Okay, so I ran into this one literally this week on Monday. I was like, you know what? I'm going to record it. So I screen recorded it. And I actually have a video in the works that kind of breaks this one down. But I'm going to preview this and show you it first. So the lucky live stream viewers, you guys get to see my content before I even turn it into a video here. And this one, again, this one was this weekend. Not even weekend. Again, I keep saying weekend. Not even. Literally this week on like Monday. So let me just find. Let's see. Here's one examples. Roughly 1 more minute. So just bear with me. Checking one spot. Check one other spot if here it is. Yep, here it is. All right, cool. All right, so I'm actually going to show you a video. No, first I'm going to show you the screen. All right, so. All right, everybody, check this out. This is the scam I ran into literally on Monday this week. All right, and all I did was I opened Chrome on my Samsung Galaxy phone. That's all I did. I opened Chrome on my Samsung Galaxy phone, right? And by default, Google is the homepage. And on the homepage, Google always recommends a couple news articles, right? It's all normal, right? Except look at the news article. IRS confirms $2,000 direct deposit for January 2026. Check out payment dates, right? So I was like, wait a minute, that doesn't sound right. I haven't heard about that anywhere else. The website URL is esphs.us. So it's not like a government website. It's not like a news website. It's some strange sounding URL, right? And also, I know that's tax season, right? Every week we warn about these Social Security scams, tax scams, right? And we know that there's text message scams circulating where they use the same type of trick where they claim there's a deposit or a refund coming. Right. So when I saw this article, alarm bells started going off in my head. Right. But what was scary about it, or what I think is most concerning about it, is that it was literally, it was forced upon me. I opened up Google Chrome. I didn't search for anything. I didn't go to any other website. All I did was open up Google Chrome, and right there, splashed across the entire screen, is this fake scam article, right? But it's not just a fake article, right? Because otherwise I wouldn't be sharing it with you, right? But let me show you what happens. So right away, again, I knew right. I was like, let me see what kind of scam this is, right? Because there's warning signs all over, right? So I clicked on the link. And again, I don't recommend this. Scamware 101 does this, so you don't have to do this. So I don't recommend clicking on the link at home. But for the sake of research purposes, I clicked the link. All right, here's what happens. I grabbed a screen capture for you. Click the link. It goes to that fake news article for 1 second, and then immediately pops open that fake virus alert. And I'll zoom in on the virus alert for you in a second. Right, but that's all it took. It was literally a second long. Right, watch. From the Google home screen, anybody who clicked that link thinking, oh, I'm going to get a $2,000 direct deposit, I better click this link. And people fall for that. That's a common narrative, right? So always be alert for that kind of narrative, especially right now during tax season. But look, just clicking that link, one click. Fake news article, 1 second, boom, fake virus alert. Right. So I'm going to show you this scam into a little bit more detail here. Because what's great about this example is it actually combines a whole bunch of scams into one. Right. First, there's the fake news article on Google. And that's an example of, look, you can't trust Google. Right? Just because Google's, even if it's recommending something to you, I didn't even search for anything. Google just flat out was like, hey, here's a scam, click it. You know? So you can't trust Google, whether it's search results or even just what they're recommending to you on the homepage. You got to keep your guard up, be suspicious. You know, scammers know how to get onto page one. They're purchasing sponsored listings just like anybody else, right? So Google, you know, Don't think it's any safer than anywhere else, just like other social media websites. And again, this scam was literally there on Monday this week, a couple days ago. Boom, homepage. So I'm curious how many people fell for that scam, right? They clicked that link. And what's interesting about this scam is a lot of times these IRS, Social Security, these fake deposit scams, what they're trying to do is just steal your personal information. They'll actually take you to a fake website that says confirm your bank account details, right? And they'll steal your information. What's interesting about this version of the scam, they just use the direct deposit to lure you in, right? So you click that link, they use that to lure in, and then it's like, boom, virus warning. It switches to a fake virus alert, right? Anyway, it was a very interesting scam that I ran into this week. I was like, I got to screenshot that and share it. Now, a couple things I want to share. I want to talk about more, right? We talked about how they use the fake lure to pull you in, the IRS deposit, click here, right? So keep your guard about that. Watch out for Google and always be suspicious, okay? But now let's talk about the whole fake virus alert portion of this, because this isn't something that's new, right? So here's the first pop-up. It says, your system is heavily damaged by 2 viruses. We detect that your generic blah, blah, blah. There's some kind of error here, so it doesn't actually say my phone name. It's supposed to say, we detect your Samsung Galaxy, or we detect your iPhone is 28.1% damaged because of 2 harmful viruses from recent adult sites. They got me. Soon it will damage your phone's SIM card and will corrupt your contacts, photos, data, applications, etc. If you do not remove the virus now, it will cause severe damage to your phone. Here's what you need to do step by step. And then it goes into these instructions. And what's interesting about this fake virus alert is it doesn't tell me to call a tech support number. Instead, it's trying to get me to download an app. Right, so it's trying to get me to download an app now. It says, open the app to speed up and fix your browser now. So it's an interesting version of these fake virus alerts. They don't always lead you to a scam that tries to get you to call tech support. Some might lead you to a scam where they try to get you to download a dangerous app. Right. So now what was interesting about this, when I hit back, it takes me to another version of that message. Right. So I hit back and then it shows me this. It pretty much says the same thing. It just looks different colors or whatever. And then it says repair fast now. So it's really trying to get me to click on this app and download it. So it's all part of this fake virus alert scam. So they use the fake article to pull you in. You click on it, and then within a second, boom, you get the fake virus alert. And what's important to remember about this type of scam, the fake virus alert, this portion of the scam can be used all over the place. It doesn't have to just be used from those links. You can click on a sponsored search result and suddenly get this fake pop-up. You'd be on a news website, and the fake pop-up got injected into their ad provider, right? There's an infected ad, and it pops one of these up. So you could come across these fake virus alerts in many different ways. And again, in this example, this is on my Samsung Galaxy phone, right? So the previous, when I was talking about the tech support scams, the previous scam we just talked about, right? I showed you all examples of the fake virus alerts on how to look on a computer. I showed you some versions how to look on a MacBook or an Apple device, and I showed you some versions how to look on a Windows computer, right? Well, here's some versions of these fake virus alerts that how to look on a Android device and an iPhone device, because everybody's vulnerable to this type of scam. One more note about this one here. I was curious, so I did a quick Google search for some of the text here, because I noticed it had that little error it says we detect that you're generic blah blah blah, and it's like something's wrong. It's like click ID, like there's that one group of words there where it seems like it's an error. So I did a quick Google search to see what other people were saying about this pop-up. I actually found somebody all the way back in November 2019, right? So like 6-7 years ago, more like 6, but still all the way back in 2019, and it was an iPhone user. And they're reporting getting the exact same fake virus alert message. Right? And they said that says, we detect your Apple iPhone is 28.1% damaged. So in their case, the script didn't fail. It detected their Apple iPhone. They were able to fill it in correctly. But it's an identical message all the way through. Because of two harmful viruses from recent adult sites, soon it will damage your phone's SIM card. All right, here's what to do step by step. So it's the exact same message. And here's this person with an iPhone reporting it all the way back in 2019. So this type of scam has been around for a while. These fake virus alerts. Obviously, this one has been around for a long time. People have been reporting it since 2019. Who knows how they were directed to it. But in this case, as early as Monday, I was directed to it by a fake news article. I suspect it was fake. They didn't get me. I knew it was fake. So don't let it get you. So anyway, that was a new example that we have here of a fake virus alert. It's a phone version example. And it's a great example, too, of how they use these fake news articles to pull you in. So if you see anything about a $2,000 refund, be suspicious. Don't just click on that link. And I also have a couple new phishing emails to show you. Might as well do them too, since we're showing some new things there. And so this first one I actually posted on our social media this week. But as expected, there's phishing emails impersonating ChatGPT. It's a little dark. I'm not sure if you can see it. It's a little dark on the screen, but you can see it's got ChatGPT, their logo there. And it says, to avoid any interruption in your ChatGPT Plus access, please update your payment information as soon as possible. Update your subscription plan. We attempted to process your ChatGPT subscription, but unfortunately we didn't succeed. This may be due to a security measure on your account. To avoid any interruption in your ChatGPT Plus access, please update your payment information as soon as possible. This has got a button. It says update subscription. And let's see. It says after expiration, the following services will be deactivated. This is where it tries to scare you. Extended limits on messaging, file uploads in voice mode, more image and video generation, extended access to deep research and reasoning models. Put San Francisco address, tries to make it seem like it's from ChatGPT. But there's just a scam. It's another scam. And it just goes to show how scammers, they evolve, right? They realize, wow, lots of people are purchasing ChatGPT Plus subscriptions. It's time to start sending out fake emails that impersonate ChatGPT Plus. So any of you ChatGPT users out there, especially with Plus, if you get an email warning you about your subscription, don't click the links. The proper way to handle this would be just go directly to your ChatGPT and check your account there. But don't click any links, and be aware. There's fake emails going around already. Impersonating ChatGPT, trying to trick you into providing your details. How are we all doing out there? Let me know if you've gotten any of those emails. I want to hear from you. If you're just joining, welcome to the live stream too. Oh, it looks like our Facebook live stream failed. That's interesting. That happens sometimes. That's too bad. Doesn't surprise me though. Well, I think we're just going to have to continue on Instagram and YouTube then. Facebook fails me again. Yep. Bear with me one sec, guys. I'm just going to post a quick update. Facebook fails us again. Join us on YouTube, and then we shall continue. Which messages, Katie? Did you send an email? Go through one more second, guys and gals. In fact, I'm going to share a direct link here. Yeah, yep. Thanks for the real trap you are showing us. Wow, fake virus. Barred in a fake article. Yep, yep. And that fake article really could have directed you to any kind of fake pop-up alert, too. Spare with me one sec. I'm just going to share this on Facebook for all the people that may have been watching and got disconnected. There we go. Okay. Oh well, Facebook Live's down. That's okay. Let's continue with the live stream. I'm not going to hold it up. Just fair to let anybody know that was unexpectedly booted off there. We're on YouTube and they can join us here. Still got plenty to go over. Have another recent phishing email to share with you all, besides this ChatGPT one. And this warning also came out this week. Now, I haven't received this one myself, but supposedly there's an Amazon phishing email that starts circulating a lot this week, and it's trying to trick you into clicking update account information. It's not really from Amazon, but lots of people are getting hit with this email. It's being reported by lots of people, and I actually got off a media warning today, so I've saved the example to share with you all. So be suspicious of any emails you get that are impersonating Amazon, especially ones that are asking you to update your account information. Because supposedly lots of people are getting this one. So ChatGPT and Amazon, watch out for those phishing emails. Lots of reports about those circulating. And you know what? It's definitely time for the first refill of the night here. 1 hour in, so right on schedule. And then we have a lot more scams to go over here. And these ones specifically to watch out for during the new year, too. We're going to talk about some Social Security scams, some IRS scams. I'm actually going to re-show that fake news article real quick. I'm not going to spend too much time on it, but I'm going to re-show it real quick for anybody that just joined as an example of those fake Social Security articles, too. Oh yeah, for sure. Katie says, one rule of principle is if you don't have an account with the company, like Amazon, then be suspicious. Yeah, I mean, if you're getting emails You don't even have an account with the company. Definitely be suspicious. In fact, the person that reported that ChatGPT one to me was like, I don't have a ChatGPT Plus subscription. So she knew right away. She's like, this is a scam because I don't even have a ChatGPT Plus subscription. So good point, Katie. Definitely good rule of thumb. Don't let them trick you into clicking links. All right, everybody. Go run real quick. Refill this Skimware 101 coffee travel mug. Keeping the coffee warm. Let me play our theme song for you real quick as we refill this coffee mug. Don't go anywhere. Back in 5 minutes, and we're going to keep on continuing with some important scam awareness information.
Yo, it's Jared in the booth, spitting scamming with truth. They fishing in your inbox, man, they stealing your youth. Phishing emails, got that urgent in the line. Click that link and your bank account's not fine. Fake tech support, they call you at noon. Your PC's infected, yeah, they're singing that tune. Pick butchering scams, that wallets to slice. Invest in the fake love, but you're paying the price. Scamware 101, keep your eyes wide open. If the deal seems sweet, man, they're probably hoping. Snatch your cash, leave you broken despair. Stay woke, well, man, these crooks don't care. Wrong number text, they pretend they know you. Acting all friendly till they ask for a few. Grandparent scam, your grandson's in jail. Send the bail quick or his freedom might fail. Arrest warrant scam, police are on the line. Pay now or else they're taking your time. Fake order text, your package is delayed. You click that link, boom, your data's displayed. They'll call, they'll text, they'll lie, they'll scheme. Play on your fears, they'll sell you a dream. Be alert, my friend, don't take the bait. A second of caution could change your fate. Acting all friendly till they ask for a few. Grandparent scam, your grandson's in jail. Send the bail quick or his freedom might fail. Arrest warrant scam, police are on the line. Pay now or else they're taking your time. Fake order text, your package is delayed. You click that link, boom, your data's displayed. They'll call, they'll text, they'll lie, they'll scheme. Play on your fears, they'll sell you a dream. Be alert, my friend, don't take the bait. A second of caution could change your fate.
All right, let's keep it rolling here. All right, we're back and we're going to keep on going. We're streaming live on Instagram and YouTube. We're no longer on Facebook because Facebook failed us yet again, but that's okay. Nobody was really watching on Facebook anyway. So Instagram and YouTube, that's where we're at. Say hi in the chat. Let us know you're watching. We want to hear from you. If you're just joining, welcome to the live stream. My name's Jared with Scamware 101, and this live stream is one of the many ways that we try to spread awareness about common scams. We're on social media. We're on all your favorite social media platforms: Facebook, YouTube, Threads, Instagram, X, Blue Sky. You can find links on our website here. We also have a free mailing list. Make sure to join it. It's on scamware101.com. It's free to join. We'll send you some scam awareness tips, reminders when we're going live. Send you some scam warnings, all good stuff. We don't abuse the privilege. Unsubscribe at any time, but it won't be necessary because we don't abuse the privilege and we won't sell your information to anybody. That's a promise. So, scamware101.com, join the free mailing list, follow us on your favorite social media platforms. And if you want to buy some merch, help support what we're doing, we have an online store too. So check that out. And we're just entering our second hour here, getting it started, refilled, recaffeinated. Got my Scamware 101 mug, filled and ready to go. So I can stay at top peak performance for everybody here. On that note, we're going to talk about some red flags. And look, recognizing these red flags are key in protecting yourself and your loved ones from these scams. Right? And in some cases, they're a last chance to protect yourself. So, red flag number one, and by the way, we have 2 red flag videos about this. We're going to go over the first batch of 5 red flags, and we have 5 more. There's a video on our YouTube channel you can check out as well. But let's talk about these first 5 red flags. Red flag number 1, they direct you to a third-party chat app like Telegram or WhatsApp to continue the conversation. Look, scammers love the chat on third-party chat apps instead of sending text messages back and forth around the world. Right? It's much easier for them to use third-party chat apps to communicate with victims in other countries. It also offers them more anonymity to hide behind. So it's common for these scammers to trick their victims into continuing to talk on a third-party chat app. Right? And a lot of times, they'll start to scam in a traditional way with a text message or an email. But as communication is established and evolves, they'll say, hey, let's continue this conversation on Telegram or on WhatsApp. And some examples and scams where they do that are romance scams. Right? They create these fake dating profiles to lure in new victims. Then they direct their victims, any matches they find on these websites, to continue talking on WhatsApp. All right, so it's a red flag. Wrong number scams. They start with a text message probing for victims. We're going to talk about this scam later on. But then once victims reply and they start having a conversation with them, they say, hey, let's keep talking on WhatsApp. Right? Very common. We see it in wrong number scams. And then investment scams. Victims are often invited to Telegram and WhatsApp groups to pump up an investment, make it appear more legit. Sometimes there'll be a bunch of bots in the group to make it look like there's interest in this investment. Other times there'll be other scammers in the group impersonating investors, making it look like there's interest. But it's a scam. Don't trust it. The red flag is they're inviting you to Telegram and WhatsApp groups. All right, so that's red flag number 1. Someone you're talking to is directing you to a third-party chat app like Telegram or WhatsApp to continue the conversation. And you know what? I'm going to take that even a step further. If somebody's telling you to download an app in general, right? We already saw one example of that fake virus alert trying to get you to download an app, right? And now we're talking about these scams where, it's a red flag where they tell you to download Telegram or download WhatsApp. And so, look, apps are bad news. Be careful when someone's instructing you to download an app or trying to convince you to download an app. Anyway, let's talk red flag number 2. They request payment in gift cards, prepaid cards, cryptocurrency, or depositing cash at a Bitcoin ATM. Look, scammers love these unusual forms of payment because it's easier for them to move and transfer funds, but it's also harder for victims to recover the money once it's sent. Right? So it sounds crazy that they want to get paid in gift cards, but once those gift cards are sent, they drain them and that's it. You're not getting that money back. Same thing with cryptocurrency or any prepaid gift cards. As soon as they get it, the cryptocurrency is getting moved or was sent to somewhere where you're not going to be able to retrieve it from. And the same thing goes for the Bitcoin ATMs. The scammers, they direct their victims to deposit cash into Bitcoin ATMs. And that's cash is gone forever. It's converted to cryptocurrency and you can't get it back. So it's always a red flag when these scammers or someone asks for these unusual forms of payment. And some examples, where we see this in scams, just to name a few because we see this on a lot of scams. IRS and Social Security scams, right? Scammers impersonate government agencies and ask for payment in gift cards or cryptocurrency. And look, as of right now, the IRS, Social Security, any government agencies, they don't accept gift cards or cryptocurrency as payment. Right? Maybe one day they'll accept cryptocurrency, but right now they don't. right? So anybody that's claiming to be from the IRS or Social Security telling you to deposit money into Bitcoin, cryptocurrency, ATM, right, or to purchase gift cards, it is a scam. The government doesn't take those types of currency, and don't do it. All right, romance scams. We see scammers do this a lot. These romance scammers where they request gift cards, from their emotionally attached victim, or they'll set up an account and they'll say, "Yeah, it's a shared account. Send cryptocurrency here. It's for our future together." But then the victim, realizes too late they actually don't have access to the account, but they've been sending cryptocurrency to it the entire time. All right. There's bank impersonation scams. Victims are tricked to withdraw cash from the bank and purchase gift cards or Bitcoin, as instructed by scammers. And you may think to yourself, how would they ever convince somebody to take the money out of the bank? Look, as we go through this live stream tonight, we're going to show you plenty of examples of these. But what they do is they trick the victim into thinking their money's not safe. Somebody already has access to it. A scammer's already inside your account. Somebody's already stolen your identity and has access to all your funds. You need to move it. You need to withdraw it quickly. And the only safe place you can put it is cryptocurrency, where a scammer can't get it, or buying gift cards where a scammer can't access them because they're physical. They make up these stories, right, to try and trick the victim. You just have to take the money out, and the victim doesn't realize they're actually sending it to a scammer. They think that they're sending it to a second account, or that it's going to be automatically returned to their account. It sounds outrageous, but it's very convincing. And these scammers, they're good at what they do. Don't underestimate them. So anyway, that's red flag number 2, these unusual forms of payment. Right, it's always a red flag. Somebody's requesting gift cards, prepaid cards, cryptocurrency, telling you to go to a Bitcoin ATM, big red flag. And by the way, this is probably the last chance in that situation you're going to have to stop this scam. All right, because once you get past this point where you actually deposit into a Bitcoin ATM, or you purchase and give the gift card to the scammer, that's it. It's too late. This is pretty much your last chance to stop the scam. So this red flag is very important. Payments in gift card, Bitcoin, cryptocurrency, be suspicious. Big red flag. Red flag number 3. Hey, if you're just joining, by the way, say hi. Let us know you're watching. I want to hear from you on Instagram and YouTube. So red flag number 3. They ask you to provide a code that was sent to your phone via text message. This is actually a common scam. And what's really happening here is, well, first of all, we see this on marketplace type websites. We see this on Facebook Marketplace and some of those newer marketplace style websites where you can sell things, buy and sell things on, right? And what the scammer does is they impersonate a buyer or seller, and they say, "I need to confirm your phone number. I'm going to send you a code." But what they're actually doing is they're trying to open an account under your phone number, or they're trying to access one of your accounts or reset a password. They're trying to do something to an account linked to your phone. But in most cases, what they're actually trying to do is open an account. Well, why would they be trying to open an account attached to your phone? Well, let's dive into that a little bit more, right? And we'll get into that. Right? But first of all, let me break this down, right? So the person imitates, let's say, a seller, right? You see something you want to buy, and they say, "I just want to confirm your phone number before I meet up and pick up the item," right? And it says, "I'm going to send you a code to your phone just to confirm it's real." You reply back with the code. I know you're real. Okay. Well, what they're actually doing is they're going to try to create an account with Google Voice, a Google Voice account, right? They'll put your phone number in. You get the code sent to your phone. If you reply back to the scammer with that code, he now is able to link your phone number to his fraudulent Google Voice account. Right? Well, why does he want a Google Voice account? Well, what happens is he get a free phone number with Google Voice account. It's just you have to sign up with a unique phone number. So they use your phone number. They get a free fraudulent Google Voice account and a free phone number. Right? And then they target victims and use the fraudulent account to spread their scams. Right? And meanwhile, it's actually linked to your phone number. Get what I'm saying? If not, the main takeaway is if somebody's telling you to give a code back to them, don't trust it. Right? They'd be trying to reset one of your passwords. Right? If you try to reset a password, a lot of times you get a code sent to your phone as a security measure. Right? Same way trying to reset a password, and if you reply back, you let them reset the password. Same thing with account logins. They might be trying to log in, right? And you're getting that code as a security measure. Right? If you give it back, you're letting them log into the account. So never give that. You shouldn't be getting codes sent to you by individuals, right? So it's a big red flag. So watch out for that scam. It's very common. We see it a lot. And you don't want your phone number attached to a fraudulent, account created by a scammer. That's red flag number 3. Somebody asks you to provide a code, they send to your phone. Don't trust it. How you all doing tonight? By the way, if you're watching, say hi in the chat. Let me know you're watching. It's awesome seeing all the usual faces. It's good to see John and Katie and Dave. Like, very cool to see you. Thank you for showing up. Always appreciate you. And Katie, you're still the one and only member I got, subscribing member. So Katie gets number 1 props still, for sure. I wish I had more member content to offer, but I could give you all the shout outs in the world. I appreciate it, Katie. Thank you. So let's talk about red flag number 4. They ask to connect your PC to assist or investigate an issue. Look, this has become more common. We see this a lot in tech support scams. And what happens is the scammer, why would a scammer want to get onto your device? Because to them, it's a gold mine. It has so much information about you and data that they can steal or withhold, right? They could steal your logins and passwords. If you save your logins and passwords in your browser, like if you save them in Chrome, you tell them to remember them, right? Scammers could extract that. They get onto your device, they can extract those logins directly from your browser, right? They can encrypt your personal files, hold them for ransom, steal them, scour the data inside of them, right? They can attempt to access your banking websites that are on your computer already that you're logged into, or trick you into logging into your bank account websites while they gather information about your accounts. They do all sorts of scary stuff on your device. They can install software on there and access your device later when you're not on it. So you never want to let a scammer, or anyone for that matter that you don't know, onto your device. All right, again, we know that scammers do this a lot now. And red flag number 4, they ask to connect your PC to assist or investigate an issue. Here's some examples of where that's part of the playbook, right? And we talked about the tech support scams earlier with the fake virus alerts. A lot of times with those tech support scams, the fake virus alert, it'll say, call this number, right? You call that number and the scammer's going to say, let me connect to your computer. They're going to send you a link to something called AnyDesk or TeamViewer. They're going to try to send you something. Those are 2 common ones, all right, to access your device. Fake order scams. You get a notification about a fake order. If you call back to dispute it, a lot of times they'll say, well, let me see a notification. I'm going to send you this link, click it, it's going to let me on your device. It's all part of scams. They're just trying to get access to your device. We got the fake fraudulent activity where they impersonate an agency investigating fraud. Right, they'll call up, they'll say they're with your bank, they're with a government agency. Right, they're trying to gain access to your PC. They'll say, hey, we got to check your accounts for fraud, or let's connect your device and we'll let you know if we see anything suspicious. It's all part of scam. So look, don't let people you don't know or trust on your computer or your device. Avoid letting a stranger on as much as possible. If you have to deal with support, make sure you're dealing with real support. Be suspicious of support services you've never used or called before. Don't trust random numbers that pop up on your screen. And really, if anything goes on with your computer where someone's trying to get onto it or saying that there's a problem that needs to be resolved, you should already have someone in mind who you're going to reach out to, right? Who's your computer person? Is it the local computer shop down the street? Is that family member that's good with computers? Is the tech support people at work, right? Already have in mind who you're going to call if you're put in this situation. But anyway, that's red flag number 4. They're trying to connect to your device, right? To investigate an issue. Be suspicious and careful who you let on. And by the way, if you find these red flags useful, again, we have a video about these red flags, and we have a second video with 5 more red flags too. So check out those videos if you haven't seen them yet. Share them with a friend. Ooh, ultraviewer, interesting. So Katie says, well, first of all, she says people have to work it out in their budget to afford membership. I agree, Katie. That's right. You heard her. You heard her, folks. Work it out in your budget. Get a membership. Appreciate that. But she also says, scammers have gotten away from AnyDesk. It is more common to see them use ultraviewer. I believe that. Interesting. Because ultraviewer, that's kind of industry standard, especially in tech support. That's very common. That's part of a lot of legit remote desktop or remote management software. They usually include AnyDesk or UltraDesk, some kind of version of that. Not AnyDesk, I'm sorry. UltraViewer. right? Sometimes they have like Tiny Viewer on there too, I think. But yeah, Ultra Viewer and so it's more likely not to get detected too. Anyway, watch out for all those. Ultra Viewer, AnyDesk, Team Viewer. All red flags. Somebody's telling you to install that. That means that they're trying to get onto your device. There's that interesting piece of software that what is his name was working on. Did I put a link on my? Let me see if I put a link here or not on it. I'm not sure. I've been meaning to put a link to it. There's a piece of software that blocks a lot of those and sends out an alert. This way, you put it on a loved one's computer and supposedly it'll block them and alert you if somebody tries to install those, AnyDesk or any of those remote access programs. That's pretty clever. What is it? Kip Bogo? Is that the name that he goes by? I know he's involved in that somehow, the software. So I haven't used it or seen it personally, but it seems like an interesting concept and could work. All right, red flag number 5, the last red flag we're going to talk about here. By the way, again, that was red flag number 4. It's when someone asks to connect your PC to assist or investigate an issue, whether it's a virus alert or an order notification. All right, be suspicious. Well, we know that scammers do that. Red flag number 5 is the final one we're going to talk about. They request that you keep the matter confidential or secret. Common for scammers to ask for confidentiality, right? Because they don't want you to discuss the situation with other people, right? The more people you talk to, the more likely you'll be told it's a scam, right? So scammers, they don't want you talking to anybody. A lot of times, they don't even let you get off the phone a lot of times. They'll try to stay on the phone with you while you're driving to the bank. It's wild, but they don't want you to get off the phone. They don't want you to talk to other people. They just know that the more people you talk to, the more likely you'll be told it's a scam. So they try to keep you quiet about things. So a lot of times they'll ask for confidentiality, or they'll have a story or a reason why you need to keep it quiet and not tell anybody. Some examples of that. And I'll also point them out as we go through the examples during the live stream here. Grandparent scams. And we have a video I'm going to show you about that one in a little bit. But they say a relative is arrested and needs assistance. Right? But they claim the relative is embarrassed and asked not to tell anybody. Right? Which seems like a reasonable request, but it's really just part of a scam. To trick you into not calling someone and telling them what's going on. Investment scams. They have an inside tip. Don't tell anybody. A price is just for you. Don't tell anyone. Those are things they'll say. Right? Keep it confidential. It's between us. Kip Boga, that was it. Thank you, Katie. Kip Boga, that's the one who's involved in that piece of software I was talking about where, I forget what the name of the software is, but he's the one who's involved in it too with a couple other people. And it blocks connections by those pieces of software. I believe it could be set up to send out an alert to you and let you know. So let's say you have a older loved one or friend that keeps on getting scammed. You put that software on their device and it'll notify you if any of those connections, somebody tries to install AnyDesk or UltraView or anything like that onto the person's computer. It'll block it and notify you, which I think is a good concept. Obviously it doesn't stop every scam, but it's a piece of a good concept, and it'll stop some scams. Yeah, it was Kip Boga. Thank you. I can never remember Kip Boga. I can never remember the name for some reason. Anyway, thank you. Red flag number 5 that we were talking about. Right. They request you to keep the matter confidential or secret. Grandparent scams, right? They claim your relative's embarrassed. She asked not to tell anybody. Investment scams, inside tip, right? Price is just for you. Right? But then inheritance scams. I'm going to show you an example of this one a little later. They'll mail letters impersonating law offices regarding an inheritance, and the letter will request confidentiality. I'll show you an example of that in a little bit. Fake fraudulent activity impersonates the agency investigating fraud. And we talked a little bit about this earlier, where they say, they call you up, they impersonate a bank or an agency, suspicious activity under your account, right? And in this case, as far as asking you to keep it confidential or secret, they might say, this is an open investigation, so you can't tell anybody what's going on. You can't tell the bank teller, right? Because the bank teller might be the person that's under the investigation or causing the problem, right? So if the bank teller asks what's going on, just tell her you're doing remodeling at your home and you have to pay some contractors, or you're going on a vacation, something like that, right? They'll actually tell you to lie, right? But they'll say it's for the sake of the investigation. You don't want to blow the investigation by warning the teller what's happening. It's all BS, right? But it's a clever way to try and get you to be quiet. So request for confidentiality, secrecy, always a red flag. You'll be suspicious. So that's 5 red flags that indicate you're dealing with a scammer. Again, we did a video about those 5 red flags. We have 5 more red flags too. Another video about those. Yeah, yep, Katie, I do follow them. Yep, I follow Kip Bogos, Scammer Payback, all those folks. The AI stuff is hilarious. Yeah, I don't sit there listening to it for hours, but it's funny though for the clips I've seen and heard. I love what was the angry grandmother AI that he uses, where it sounds like an angry grandmother, and she's answering the scammer, and it's hilarious. There we go. I knew Dave would be chipping in with some useful info here. He said Kip Bogo's software is called Serif Secure. There we go. Serif Secure. That's it. That's the one. See, Serif. Like, how am I supposed to remember that, right? They make up these names, or I don't know. Watch, there's going to be some popular word that I'm stupid and didn't know. But, yeah, probably. I should have kept my mouth shut. But anyway, it's not easy to remember. But that's the one, though. Thank you for remembering, Dave, and clarifying. I've been meaning to put a link to it on my site, actually, so I'm going to throw a link up there on scamware101.com eventually. Cool stuff. Anybody else? Say hi in the chat, too. I love hearing from you guys. So those 5 red flags that we just discussed. Going through them real quick, in case you joined a little late here. First red flag was they direct you to a third-party chat app like Telegram or WhatsApp to continue the conversation. And I'm going to amend that and say if they direct you to any app, this is a stranger, they're telling you to download an app, don't trust it. Right? Fake virus alerts, telling you to download apps, don't trust them. Red flag number 2. They request payment in gift cards, prepaid cards, cryptocurrency, or depositing cash at a Bitcoin ATM. Right? That's suspicious. We know scammers love getting paid in those unusual forms of payment. Gift cards, prepaid cards, cryptocurrency. Right? So if strangers asking you for those forms of payment, don't trust it. Red flag number 3. They provide a code that was sent to your phone via text message. They ask you to return it. Look, that's normal for like banks and things like that, but not individuals that you're talking on the phone, right? It's good for like automated systems, but not people. Right? So even if somebody calls you up claiming to be from your bank, it's not meant for a person to be sending codes, right? So if somebody's telling you to go send a code to your phone, don't trust it. Red flag number 4, they ask to connect to your PC to assist or investigate an issue. We see this all the time with tech support scams, where you get the fake virus alerts. It tells you to call this number for support. It's a scam. We see this in fake order notification scams, where it says if you didn't purchase this $1,400 MacBook Pro, call back this number. They connect your device. Don't trust it. It's red flag number 4. The final red flag was confidentiality. Look, they request confidentiality. It's a red flag. I mean, who are they to tell you to keep something confidential? That's between you and yourself, So anyway, watch out for those red flags. Check out the video. All important. Especially that one about payments. That might be your last chance to actually stop the scam. So. I'm going to add the new 5 red flags that we put together on our website. I'm going to get those slides added to this live stream. Mix it up a little bit. Let's get the slides created. Let's see. Dave is saying the software it's free. I remember it being free when I looked into it. I remember it being like $5 a month or something. They had different levels, but really there was a free. That's good. It's good to know. I mean, I haven't looked at it in a while though, so maybe there was a free one. check Instagram here. We're streaming live on Instagram, YouTube. If you're just joining or you're being quiet in the background there, hit that thumbs up, give us a like. Let us know you're watching too. Say hi in the chat. Don't be shy. Just looking something up here, and then we're going to go into some more common scams here. All right, cool. Let's check out. So here's his website. Cool. Yeah, they got a free plan here. Removing, block new remote connections, allow list. Removing, what's the difference? Block new remote connections, allow list. Block known scam websites. So, yeah, so I think it looks like the limit is it doesn't have the alert, right, on the free one. Yeah, it looks like it doesn't have the alert family member. Which is kind of a bummer about the, the free portion. Because the thing that I think is most valuable about this is that the family member actually gets alerted. But it also helps that it blocks it too. It's just, these scammers, I'm sure they think of other ways to try and get around, or they'll tell the person to do something else. So it's good if there's some kind of instant alert, that goes out. And it looks like that, it's a $4 a month for that one, which $4 a month, that's still great. But that's if you pay it for the year, it ends up being $4 a month. So it's definitely worth it if you have a loved one or someone, that keeps on getting scammed. I think it's definitely worth the $4. I would think, at least concept wise. Again, I don't know if the service is good or not, but assuming it works as it says, which I have no reason to think it doesn't. It's a great concept, and it's a good thing to have. Blocks those remote connections and gives you a warning. Lets the family member know. So anyway, yeah, Seraph Secure. There you go. I guess a free one is better than nothing. It's just, I don't think the scammers could give up just because they can't connect to the PC. Anyway, good stuff. Yep, Katie's saying, yes, please add the other 5 red flags and make this segment a top 10. Cool. Yep, that's actually the plan. Definitely. I'm gonna see if let me see if I get that ready before the end of next week, before next week's live stream. But that's definitely a plan for sure. Good stuff. All right, cool. So let's talk about some more common scams here. So Social Security scams. And by the way, so these next few scams, expect to see more of them over the next couple months as we enter tax season, right? The first couple months of the year, we start seeing more of these. Not just tax scams and IRS scams, but we start seeing things like Social Security scams, anything where there's updates happening or changes happening, right? I mean, at the beginning of the year, there's always changes to Social Security and the IRS and certain new things going to effect and new rules going to effect, and people are confused, right? So we know that scammers at the beginning of the year, they take advantage of that, and we start seeing an increase in scams, government impersonation scams like Social Security and the IRS, all right? Which is another reason why I made sure to screenshot that fake news article yesterday, because it was another example of how, clever way for them to use the IRS and Social Security, pull people in. But as far as Social Security scams go, and that's the next scam we're going to be talking about right now, Social Security impersonation scams. Look, these are one of those scams that are being targeted in every direction. The example I'm going to share with you, or one of the examples, is of an email that's a fake statement. It's an email impersonating Social Security. It says there's a statement to download, right? It's a scam email, right? But you also have to be aware of phone calls that impersonate Social Security, because we know that's happening a lot too. These scammers call up, they claim to be from Social Security, they claim there's an issue or a problem with your account, right? Whether they're calling on the phone or you receive an email that says click here to resolve issue. Be suspicious. Those are common Social Security scams, and this time of year we see those always picking up and increasing. All right, and the example I'm going to share with you here is an email that impersonates Social Security. And the first view I'm going to show you is how it looks on a mobile device. It's a little harder to tell it's a scam on a mobile device, right? Because you can't necessarily see the from email address. It's kind of hidden there. It only says Department of. Right, it says, get your new information now. To see your statement, please download the file from this link. And it looks like there's a link to ssa.gov. We hope you find your new statement useful and informative. Thank you for using the Social Security Administration's services. All right, so this email is impersonating Social Security Administration. It's claiming you have a statement available. It has a link here that looks like it points to ssa.gov, but it's a scam. All right, if you get this this email, don't trust it. And here's how it looks on a actual computer. Right, you can see a lot more now. Right, specifically, you see the email address that's from. Right, no reply at safaricom.co.ke. It's not even a United States email address, or it's not even a .gov email address, right? If this had been from Social Security, it would have been from ssa.gov. It wouldn't be safaricom.co.ke. That's actually a Kenyan email address, I believe. Right, so right off the bat, you can see the email address is suspicious. Right, and then the other thing you could see is the link here, even though the text looks like it says ssa.gov, looks like it points to ssa.gov, the link doesn't actually go there. It goes to some completely different website of random letters and numbers here. Right, so I hover the mouse over and I could tell. So this is a scam. It says there's a statement to download. It gives you a link. And chances are if you download this, it's going to infect you with malware. Right, so this one was reported to us early last year. But we've seen reports of it that's still circulating. In fact, let's see here. We have a report right here. A few months ago in July. I received an email claiming to be from Social Security Admin. First section of email is as follows. You're reaching out to inform you of a critical issue concerning your Social Security number. Our system has detected unusual or potentially unauthorized activity linked to your Social Security number. Okay, so this is a different one. This is good. This is a different version of a scam email too. So we have the fake statement, but here's one that's claiming there's an issue, right? And here's somebody reporting it. So you get an email that claims that there's a critical issue concerning your Social Security number. Our system has detected unusual or potentially unauthorized activity linked to your Social Security number. As a precautionary measure, your Social Security number has been flagged for possible suspension. This action may affect your ability to access federal services, benefits, or identification verification systems tied to your Social Security profile. All right, so that was a report that came in from somebody. That's the email they received. So that's another version of how they try to tell you there's an issue and problem with your account. All right, so that's two examples. All right, the first one was the fake statement, claiming to be from Social Security, trying to get you to download a malicious file. And the second example is somebody reporting an email, claiming to be from Social Security and saying that there's unauthorized activity, their Social Security number. So watch out for those two scams or any communication claiming to be from Social Security. You have to be suspicious. Phone calls, emails, even text messages. And one last note about these Social Security scams, just to give you an idea of what a big problem it is. Look, this picture right here is actually of a real envelope from Social Security, right? This is a legit envelope. It came from Social Security, physical piece of mail that has their logo and everything on it, right? But it's such a big problem, these scammers, that they put a warning on their envelope, right? The legit envelopes that go out from Social Security, they have a big warning. Just letting everybody know, scam alerts. Scammers are pretending to be government employees. They may threaten you and may demand immediate payment to avoid arrest or other legal action. Do not be fooled. If you receive a suspicious call, hang up. Do not give them money or personal information and report the scam. Right? And that's on envelopes that actually get sent out from Social Security. But that's what a big problem it is, that they feel that they have to warn everybody on envelopes, hey, so many Social Security scams out there. Be alert. So watch out for those Social Security scams, especially this time of year. Again, we're going to see a lot of them this time of year. Yep, like Katie says, government agencies always mail you, never call or email. That's true. They always send you physical paperwork, like official paperwork. You still have to be careful with anything you get mailed to you as well. Make sure it looks legit. Make sure websites look legit, because Scammers do that too, but as far as government goes, they don't really typically just call you out of blue or email you out of blue. They usually send you notices and they go through a whole process, multiple notices and things like that. And the next scam we're going to talk about, I'm just going to point out real quick again for anybody that maybe is joining now and didn't catch it earlier. Just that one scam from earlier, right? That Google link. Now again, what was concerning to me, again, was right on the homepage. It was right on the homepage of Google. I didn't search for anything. I didn't go to any other website. And here's Google right there, taking up the whole screen, recommending this fake news article that, if you were on earlier, I showed you how it took us to a fake virus alert page, tries to get you to download a virus app, yada, yada. It all starts from this fake article that was pretty much thrust on me, from Google. Right, again, didn't search anything. All I did was open Chrome and boom. IRS confirms $200 direct deposit for January 2026. Check out payment dates. And I try to get you to click on a link. Right. So while we're talking about Social Security and economic and IRS, be suspicious of Google. You start seeing articles on Google, anything in search results, be suspicious because we see it right here. Right? These fake news articles, they know how to get on the top. Be suspicious of fake news. Also, I don't have, let's see, did I? Bear with me one sec. I'm going to show you one other thing from this scam that you might find interesting. Hope you guys don't mind. I wasn't planning on showing you this, but I'm going to show you it anyway. One sec here. So, yeah, here it is. All right, so this website from that fake Google article earlier here, on my screen, you can see the fake article here that Google was showing me. IRS confirms $2,000 direct deposit for January 2026. And you can see all the way at the bottom, you can see the fake website that was hosting this article was esphs.us. All right, so you have this fake news article hosted by this website that was designed to just host scams and fake news articles, right? The one that's here, trying to trick us on the homepage of Google, it says IRS confirms $2,000 direct deposit for January. Okay. Now here's the thing. I did some additional research that I haven't talked to you guys about yet. I just did some additional research regarding this scam. And obviously what I did was I did a quick search for this website, esphs.us, to see what was coming up about it. All right. And what you can see here is that the sites that come up, the first link, IRS confirms $2,000 direct deposit. All right, let's see. Can I zoom this? Let me make this bigger for you so you can see. Nah, it's not going to get bigger because of the video. All right, well, I'm going to keep playing it anyway. So you see I'm scrolling through results here. IRS confirms $2,000 direct deposit. Payment to begin January 2026. Federal $2,000 deposit 2026. The government quietly walks back plan to end Social Security. Stimulus payment January 2026. All right, just click one. There's a scam it goes into. Just show I hit back. I keep on scrolling. Goodbye to retirement. New age for collecting Social Security. All right, boom. That's actually a different one. Android security alert pops up. Right, coming from that site. So you can see that this site, the one I'm trying to show you here, is this site, esphs.us. There's a whole bunch of different pages on this site, right? But they're all designed to trick you into clicking them and then tricking you with a fake virus alert, right? They mention Social Security, like this last article that's listed down here. This says, goodbye to retirement age at 67, the new age for collecting Social Security, right? So this is targeting, and this targets older folks. This type of scam is targeting older folks too, because even in the description it says exploring the shift in full retirement age to 67 and its impact on social. So this is purposely trying to pull in the older folks and trick them, with these articles about Social Security and IRS refunds and direct deposits. So you can see multiple pages on this site. The site was it was espsh.us. esphs.us. It was purchased for this sole purpose of just putting up these fake articles. And my point is, they're using IRS, they're using Social Security, they're using direct deposit, and they're using refunds to trick people into clicking them. Just like they use that in their text messages that we're going to show you next in our next scam examples here. That's my segue. And the next scam we're going to talk about here is going to be IRS, Economic Impact Payment. An IRS scam. You need to watch out for these, especially now during tax season. The first example I'm going to show you here impersonates the Colorado Department of Revenue. Your refund request has been processed and approved. Please provide accurate payment information by October 22nd, 2025. This is fairly recent. It's examples from a couple months ago. We will deposit the funds into your bank account or mail a paper check within 1 to 2 business days. And it's got the link to the fake website. And the whole idea is you're going to click that link and they're going to steal whatever banking details and personal details you enter. Right? That's typically how these IRS economic impact payment scams work. Other times, like the Social Security scam we just went over, they'll call you up and they'll say there's a problem with your account or you owe back taxes, and they'll use that to scam you. But in this example, they're saying that you actually have a refund that could be coming to you, but it's all part of the trick. They're using that as a way to get you to click the link and provide personal information. Just like that fake news article used that $2,000 refund, fake article to lure you in and click the link. Same idea here. To claim you're going to get a refund, and click this link. All right, so this one impersonates the Colorado Department of Revenue, but like I said earlier, you see it with one state, you're going to see it with all of them. You know, if it's in Colorado, it's everywhere else, New Jersey and every other state. Here's another example, and this one we were warned about by the IRS specifically this year, about a fake text message going around claiming you're eligible to receive a $1,400 economic impact payment. Please provide your accurate personal information. We will deposit the amount in your bank account or mail a paper check. It has a link to click, right? But it's a scam. They're trying to get you to click the link and reveal your personal information, enter your bank account details. You think you're updating your IRS details. You're actually giving your details to a scammer. All right, so you get any kind of text message like this claiming to be from the IRS, it's a scam. The IRS said that, first of all, there is no $1,400 economic impact payment. And if there was, they wouldn't be sending text messages out about it. That's not how they notify people about it. That's not how they do things. So if you get this text message, it's a scam, don't trust it. If you get the one claiming to be from your state, you know, Department of Revenue for your state, don't trust it. It's a scam. All common scams that we see during tax season. And watch out for the phone calls too. Again, they'll call up, they'll tell you there's a problem with your account, they'll claim you owe back taxes, or they're claiming to update information. Don't fall for it. Here's one more example. You know, I mentioned that the one in Colorado, right? If it's in Colorado, it's in other states. Here's one that's New Jersey. New Jersey Department of Taxation. Your refund request has been processed and approved. Please provide accurate payment information by September 16th, 2025. So this was a couple months ago too. Refunds will be deposited into your bank account. So it's the same scam, except they put New Jersey instead of Colorado. Right, so it's all over the place. You hear them in one state, you see it in others. So be aware of these various Social Security scams, IRS and tax scams, especially these next couple months as we enter tax season. Right, the point is these scammers, they'll impersonate everybody, right? They impersonate the IRS, law enforcement, they don't care. How are we all doing out there? Streaming live, YouTube, Instagram. Kind of quiet on Instagram. It's okay. Got my people up here on YouTube though. It's all good. We're going to keep continuing. Next scam is tax forgiveness scams. This is the last one I'm really going to talk about for tax scams, but these are important to be aware of, right? It's that time of year. These tax forgiveness scams, these ones were relentless last year. I was getting them all the way up until the end of the year, and they're probably just about ready to start up again, right? But these tax forgiveness scams, what happens is, at least in the examples I'm going to share, is you get a phone call that claims to be from a tax forgiveness, like an accountant, right? And they're offering tax forgiveness. They start off this phone call saying you have back taxes, trying to scare you, right? And saying you're eligible for tax forgiveness and to press 1 or call back. Don't trust it, right? If you think there's some kind of tax forgiveness, reach out to your accountant or find an accountant. Don't trust these unsolicited phone calls. They're scams. They're trying to steal your personal details or get your banking details or sell you a service you're not going to provide or get your personal details so they can open their own bank accounts or steal your identity, right? They're up to no good. Don't trust these random phone calls that you get about tax forgiveness from these shady companies. And I'm going to play 2 examples of these shady phone calls from these tax forgiveness companies. And the first one, it's a robocall, right? And it's an example of how AI has really advanced over the past year because it sounds like a real person, right? And they're saying, I have your file on my desk, call me back. They make it, they did a good job making it sound like it's a real person sitting there, like really talking to you. But it's just a robocall. It's saying the same thing to everybody. There's nobody with a file on their desk, right? It's just one scam. So let me play that for you. This is the first example we have here. And by the way, multiple people reported this one to me. So that's why I'm playing it for you. Let me know if you got this one too. Wrong one. Hold on. Where is it? There it is.
Hi, this is Lindsay Carter from the Activation Department. Give me a call back at 833-850-2527. Our records indicate you have some back taxes owed. You're now eligible to apply for them to be forgiven with the Zero Tax Balance Program. Any back owed taxes can be enrolled to be forgiven through this program. But we do need to sign up this week. Just give me a call so we can start the process. It's really quick. And I'll keep your file open here. So my number is 833-850-2527. If you've already resolved this, call back and press 2 to be removed. Can't wait to speak with you.
So that's one phone call example of a tax forgiveness scam. And hey, I got to hand it to him. It did sound like a real person, right? It sounded like a real friendly, nice woman calling up that has your file on her desk offering to help you with it. But it's a robocall. And notice that it started off with something scary saying, you owe back taxes, right? They do that to right off the bat, they want you to be scared and be like, oh no, I better call back this person. All right. So that's an example of a tax forgiveness scam. Don't trust it. Don't call them back. I have another example for you. And this one actually, it calls you up. They try to make you think you're talking to a real person for like the first 30 or 40 seconds, right? You know, the recording, it asks you a question, then it pauses. And then it continues and it goes, like it's like somebody listening, but it's not. It's just a recording. It doesn't really matter what you say. It's not even one of those systems that's recording and logging. It's just a pre-recorded phone call meant to trick you, to make you think you're talking to a person for the first 30 seconds or so. So let me play that one for you because it's kind of funny. You're going to hear ask questions and you're going to hear me not answer, right? So the silence is actually happening, right? So you'll hear that in a moment. Don't think the silence is a mistake. That's me actually not answering any questions. And then you hear responses as if I actually was. So here we go. Sorry if that didn't make sense. It'll make sense in a moment. I'm going to play it for you right now. There's another example of a tax forgiveness scam. Hello?
Hello. I can hear you now. My name is Anthony. I'm actually one of the assistants to the director for the National Tax Relief Program. How you doing? Great. So listen, I've personally been tasked with reaching out to make sure you received information about a brand new federally approved program designed to help people who may be dealing with tax debt. It's called the Tax Dismissal Program. It's something that's helped thousands of people reduce or sometimes even completely eliminate what they owe to the IRS. Can I ask you, do you currently owe any back taxes at the moment? Okay. Do you have any unfiled tax years or any unpaid back balances? Okay, great. Let me get you this updated information. You're just going to hear a brief recording. Okay, so this special program has been recently approved as of June 2025.
Hear how that scam worked? They make you think you're talking to a real person for like the first 40 seconds, and then they switch you over to a recorded scam phone call. Anyway, watch out for these tax forgiveness scams. They're always doing something shady like that. Important to be aware of them during the tax season. just like now. Let me know if you've gotten those phone calls before. We're streaming live on YouTube, and I think Instagram might have dropped on us too, so I'm going to kill the Instagram live stream as well. So tell you what, if anybody's watching on Instagram, I'm about ready to kill the feed because it's actually working. I don't realize it. Join us over on YouTube, because that's the only feed that seems to be reliable this evening. But I don't think the Instagram feed is up anymore anyway. But it's all good. All my people are on YouTube anyway. That's the spot to be. And that's our next batch of scams here. Social security scams, IRS scams. Important to be aware of those during the new year. Watch out. Also, one more note about IRS and filing taxes and stuff like that. Look, the sooner you file your taxes, the sooner you block somebody else from trying to steal your return, right? Because that happens too. These scammers, they get your personal information. They try to file for your return, right? It doesn't take that much personal information about you to file your info. Right, so they file your return, and they just try to beat you to the punch. Whoever files first and gets your return, right? If you file later, you find out somebody else did it. There's nothing you can do. They got your check. So, it's a little tip there. It's a new year. Get filed before a scammer can. All right, we just killed the Instagram live stream, but I think it was dead already. So, is what it is. But all my cool people are on YouTube anyway. And I could say that because that's the only live stream that's still up right now. The rest can't hear us. All right, let's go to our next batch of scams here. All right, the next batch of scams we're going to talk about here. Gift card received. Email scams. Victims receive an email notification that they received a gift card. When the victim attempts to activate the gift card by clicking a link, malware is installed on the device or a fake website is opened to steal personal information. All right, that one's important to be aware of. But around the holidays, anybody sending you late gifts, or if you get any emails suddenly with people claiming to be sending you late gift cards for the holidays, be suspicious. All right, here's an example. This one impersonates Venmo. And it says, your company has given you an employee rewards card. Activate your card today. All right, so you get an email like this. Instead of just blindly trusting a link and clicking it, what you want to do is you want to verify. What I mean by that is you reach out to your employer and you say, hey, did you actually send this to me? All right, they say yes, you say thanks, and you can activate it. They say no, well, you just stopped the scam. All right, this goes for any email that says you received a gift card, whether from a family member or a friend. So you're going to want to reach out and say thank you anyway, right? So two birds with one stone. Reach out, confirm it's real, before clicking any links and trusting it. You always want to verify. Always need to verify as much as you can before trusting links. So watch out for those gift card received email scams. Next scam we're going to talk about is actually an investment scam. It's an interesting one. This example is actually provided to us by Katie. I remember. It's an interesting email. There's so many red flags with it. I'm really glad she sent this over because it's a great example to use for red flags. And so this email comes in. Right? First of all, it comes from an Outlook.com address. It's not from a business domain name. It's from an Outlook.com email. All right, so she gets this email, potential investment partnership opportunity. All right, it opens up by saying, Dear Friend, which, by the way, it's always a red flag when an email says Dear Friend instead of your name. Right? Because that's an indicator that this email is just being sent to thousands of other people. There's nothing to separate this email, saying that specifically for you. It doesn't use your name. And instead they just say, dear friend. And now they can send the same email to thousands and thousands of people, right? So it's a red flag when an email says, dear friend, instead of actually saying your name, indicating it's meant, only for you. Anyway, the email continues. I hope this email finds you well. My name is Joel Mercier. I'm a CEO of holdings company, yada, yada, originally from France. Now I'm in the U.S. Exploring possibility of establishing a partnership, profitable investment opportunities. As part of the venture, I would appreciate it if you could prepare a business proposal, pursue next steps. In addition, facilitating introduction to business. I'm entrusting you with the management of investment portfolio on my behalf. Right, so it sounds like a bunch of, you'll be sitting there like, why is this guy reaching out to me? Right, but then you get to the last, kind of towards the end here, it says, for this investment, I've allocated a budget of 70 million USD, and I would welcome your professional advice on how best to allocate it. Hey, I don't care who you are. You get an email like this, you think it's legit, even if you got no knowledge about financial details. If somebody's going to ask you how to allocate their 70 million USD, yeah, sure, I'll help you allocate your 70 million USD, right? So anyway, I think that's what the idea of this scam is, just, is try to catch you with that 70 million. Be like, wait a minute, I could help them with 7 million. But anyway, some more interesting details about this is the closing. The only contact information they give you as far as replying is a WhatsApp phone number, right? Which is interesting because we mentioned that earlier about that red flag about asking you to continue talking on WhatsApp, right? Well, if the only thing they list is a WhatsApp phone number in their signature, that's also a red flag too. One other interesting thing about this email that stuck out was they attached a passport, right? Right to the initial email, attached a passport. Obviously, it's fake, right? Is it generated with AI? Who knows? Is it stolen from somebody? Who knows? But obviously, it's a fake passport, right? But it's attached to this scam email. So here you are getting an unsolicited email from someone you've never met or heard of before, coming from an Outlook.com free email service, right? Dear friend, with a passport attached. It's a scam. They offer new investment opportunities. So don't trust it. Be suspicious. That's an interesting example of an email investment scam. So thank you for Katie, if she's still there in the chat. Thank you for providing that. I always appreciate it. And we'll continue showing it each live stream. So watch out for those investment scams, whether email or snail mail. Next scam we're going to talk about, arrest warrant scams. We did a video about this one too. We go into a little bit more detail. We include some clips from local media outlets about this scam, these arrest warrant scams. And basically how they work is a victim is contacted by a scammer impersonating law enforcement. The scammer claims an arrest warrant was issued and fines must be paid to resolve it. The scammer then threatens the victim with arrest if fines aren't paid immediately. Right? That could be a scary situation. Imagine getting a phone call, right? And you think it's the sheriff or local law enforcement, and they're telling you, we're going to come out here and arrest you. You got to pay right now, or we're going to arrest you. A lot of times they say it's because you missed jury duty, or they say you failed to show up to court for some reason. But it's all a scam. They're just trying to scare you. And something worth mentioning, actually I haven't mentioned it yet this live stream, very important to note, is that scammers can manipulate what the caller ID shows. Very important to keep that in mind. When they impersonate the bank, your caller ID, it'll show the bank's phone number. Right? Scammers know how to do that. And in this case, for these arrest warrant scams, we know that scammers, it's been reported that they'll show the sheriff's phone number or the local law enforcement's phone number on caller ID. So you look at your caller ID, it says you're talking to the sheriff, right? The person on the other end says they're going to issue a warrant for your arrest, right? It could be a scary situation, but it's a scam. So I said these scammers they're clever. These scammers, they've also been known to provide fake paperwork too. These fake, they've taken real paperwork and they've forged it, they modify it, they put your info on it if you request paperwork, and they offer to text you the paperwork. But don't trust it. It's all part of an elaborate scam. Look, if you get a phone call like this one, I can guarantee almost 100% it's a scam. Right? But if you're concerned it's real, here's what you do. You ask the caller who the issuing organization is. What's the organization you're calling from, right? They say whatever law enforcement, whatever sheriff's department that they're calling from. Say thank you, hang up, right? Then reach out directly to that law enforcement department or that sheriff's office, right? Make sure you're calling the actual phone number, the real phone number. Go through official channels, right? But confirm that way. Hang up and then verify. But you can't trust anybody initially on a phone anymore. You have to verify. No matter what they know about you, no matter what they say, you have to hang up and verify, especially anything involving payment or something, an emergency. You always have to verify. So watch out for these arrest warrant scams. Lots of warnings about these coming out of law enforcement because the scammer is impersonating law enforcement, right? The scammer is calling you, claiming to be the sheriff or claiming to be from your local police department, right? So the cops don't like that, and there's been a lot of warnings about this scam recently all across the country from local police departments and sheriff's offices. So watch out for it. Be aware of it. Don't fall for it. If somebody calls up, claiming they're going to arrest you, be suspicious. How are we all doing out there this evening? Let me know you're watching. If you're just joining, just lurking behind the scenes, not commenting, that's cool. Hit that like button. Give us a like, a follow, subscribe. It really does help spread awareness about these scams. We're trying to put something good out there. It really does help to hit that like button. Still going to be streaming for at least another hour or so. So plenty of time to still share this live stream, get some more people on here. Over here on the YouTube live streams. Lots more scams coming up here. And examples to share and show you. It's another way we spread awareness. You can help support our mission. If you want to make a donation, we can take them directly at scamaware101.com/donate. Also, you should see one of those slides on the live stream here with the QR code too. They can scan it, should take you right there. You can also support our mission by buying some merch. We got mugs and water bottles, mouse pads, stickers, all useful stuff that would actually stay in front of you on your desk. And they make good gifts for that loved one that gets scammed because they have them on their desk in front of them, right? The way I envision it is somebody sitting there, they got their coffee mug on their desk, their Scamaware 101 coffee mug on the desk, and they're about ready to click a scam link, and they look down and they see Scamaware 101, and they're reminded, wait a minute, I'm not going to click that link. All right, so we got stickers, mouse pads, water bottles, coffee mugs, and they all help support the mission over here. You view those on our YouTube store or on our website here. Or at the bottom, we have the link, Gift shop. And make sure to join our free mailing list. It's the best way to keep up to date with what's going on. Go to scamaware101.com, hit join mailing list. It's free to join. Follow us on all your favorite social media platforms, YouTube, Blue Sky X, Facebook, Threads, Instagram. We have links on our homepage to all of them. Make sure to hit that like button. Like, follow, subscribe. It really does help. This next scam we're going to talk about, this one's very important to be aware of because we're being attacked from all directions by this scam, is bank impersonation scams. All right, so scammers impersonate the bank, usually claiming suspicious activity was detected under a victim's account. Victims are then tricked into withdrawing and transferring funds to scammers impersonating their bank. The caller ID might even display the bank's phone number, even though it's a scammer, right? So we mentioned that a little earlier. And again, this is one of those scams that we know and we get reports about a lot, that the victim receives a phone call and the caller ID shows the bank's phone number. In fact, here's an example I'm going to share with you right now. And this example is a text message, right? But there's a story behind this text message. But first, let me read what this text message says. It says, verified TD Bank card activity. Did you attempt a transaction for $250 at Walgreens? Reply yes if recognized or no if not. Right. So basically, the person who received this text message is a scam and provided the example to me. There's actually a story that goes along with it. And before she received this text message, she received a phone call. Right, she didn't answer the phone call, but the phone call said TD Bank and had TD Bank's phone number. Right. So after she didn't answer the phone call, immediately after, she receives this message. And the thing about that example in that story is it shows you how scammers, they're willing to try calling you first and then following up with a text message. Right? They're willing to be persistent. Right? But it also shows you how they will manipulate the caller ID. Right? She got that phone call and it said TD Bank on the caller ID. Right? So many people fall for these bank impersonation scams because they don't realize caller ID can be manipulated. They think, well, if caller ID says it's my bank, it must be my bank. And that's just not true. And scammers know that. So they manipulate caller ID and they use that to that advantage. So anyway, this example you see on the screen is of a text message that impersonates TD Bank. All right, but they're also attacking us by phone too. So be suspicious of any communications claiming to be from your bank. In this case, if she had replied, the answer would be no, obviously, right? Because this is a fake notification. She wasn't at Walgreens, right? The scammer's just sending out this notification to everybody. So she's going to reply no, right? Because she wasn't at Walgreens. And what would happen is the scammer's then going to try to get them on the phone, right? Claiming to be from the bank. They're going to try to get them to withdraw funds because they're not safe anymore. Someone has access to their account. They go into that whole narrative where you have to move the money because it's not safe. Somebody's using your account. See, they were at Walgreens. And it's only a matter of time until they remove the rest of your money. It's all part of a scam. Right? So you get these messages. Don't trust it. Look, reach out to your bank directly. That's the advice for all these scams. You need to hang up and verify directly. In this case, you would call your bank directly. Look at the back of your bank card, your credit card, call that number. Right? And also, remember, even if somebody calls you and it shows that number, that doesn't mean you could trust it. Because again, scammers can manipulate caller ID. They'll show the number that's on the back of your card. So incoming calls from that number, that doesn't mean you could trust it. Right? But if you hang up and you call the number directly, call the number on the back of your card directly, now you know you're actually talking to the real bank. So you find yourself in a situation where you're getting phone calls and text messages like these, don't deal with that person. Hang up, call your bank directly. So bank impersonation scams, watch out for them. They're a big problem. Also, one more story I want to share with you regarding bank impersonation scams. This article from a year or so ago. Right. A young Connecticut woman had her bank account drained by scammers after answering trusted Wells Fargo number. How to spot and avoid similar schemes. Right. So I showed you an example of TD Bank. Right. But in this lady's story, it was Wells Fargo. So the scammers, they impersonate all these different banks. And in some cases, they might know what bank you use. Right. Because these scammers, they know things about us. So they may even know what bank to impersonate. Right. So again, just because they know things about you, you still have to hang up. You still have to hang up and verify. And in her case, she says, I did everything they said and they drained my bank account. I got a call from a Wells Fargo number saying that I had a fraudulent activity on my account and that a random person was being sent money from Zelle. By the way, Zelle's a red flag too, right? These scammers, they like to tell you something's going on with Zelle and they tell you to send money or transfer money to them with Zelle. It's hard to recover money sent through Zelle. And that's what they did to her. They told her they needed her to secure her account, told her to secure it through Zelle. And they told her the money would go right back through her account after she transferred it. But it didn't. So they tricked her into using Zelle to transfer her funds. And then when you're tricked into doing something like that, the bank's not going to help you. That's not considered insured by the bank. You didn't let somebody didn't break into your account and steal your money. That you were tricked into transferring your own money. You took your own money out and gave it to a scammer. And the banks don't insure that. A lot of people don't realize that, unfortunately. So they lose their life savings. They don't realize it's not insured. So anyway, don't fall for it. There's that victim story. Wells Fargo, TD Bank, doesn't matter what bank you use. Scammers are impersonating them all. So be alert, be suspicious. Don't fall for these bank impersonation scams. What y'all think? Let me know if you're here. Let me know if you're watching. Let me know if I'm talking to myself. If I am, it's all good. I can entertain myself. It's come about almost 8 o'clock over here. Been streaming since 5:45. My first live stream back. First live stream in 2026. It's good to be back. I was really happy to see all the familiar faces here. So that was really cool. We're going to continue with some more scams in a little bit. But it's time for the second coffee break of the evening, probably the last coffee break of the evening. Then we're going to continue with the rest of the live stream uninterrupted. So bear with me. We're going to go on this quick coffee break. Get recaffeinated. Get the top of my game for you folks. Refill Scamware 101 travel mug. And we're going to get back into it. Some more common scams to watch out for.
Yo, it's Jared in the booth, spitting scammer with truth. They fishing in your inbox, man, they stealing your youth. Phishing emails, got one, keep your eyes wide open. If the deal seems sweet, man, they're probably hoping. Snatch a cash that you broke in despair. Stay woke, fuck you, well, man, these crooks don't care. Wrong number text, they pretend they know you. Acting all friendly till they ask for a few. Grandparent scam, your grandson's in jail. Send a bail quick or his freedom might fail. Arrest warrant scam, police are on the line. Pay now or else they're taking your time. Fake order text, your package is delayed. You click that link, boom, your data's displayed. They'll call, they'll text, they'll lie, they'll scheme. Play on your fears, they'll sell you a dream. Be alert, my friend, don't take the bait. A second of caution could change your fate. Pretend they know you, acting all friendly till they ask for a few. Grandparent scam, your grandson's in jail. Send a bail quick or his freedom might fail. Arrest warrant scam, police are on the line. Pay now or else they're taking your time. Fake order text, your package is delayed. You click that link, boom, your data's displayed. They'll call, they'll text, they'll lie, they'll scheme. Play on your fears, they'll sell you a dream. Be alert, my friend, don't take the bait. A second of caution could change your fate.
Alright, everybody who's still with me, let me know you're here. Hit that reaction button. Well, if I talking to Mike, let me try that again. Let me know if you're all here. Hit that react button. Show me some signs of life. So we got a little bit more to go here. I just realized the time needs to be updated here. 8:05, 20. There we go. We got Johnny in the chat. Give me some reactions. Love it. Put the fan on. Get a little hot in here. Get sweaty. All right, we keep going here. Excellent. We got some good scams coming up now. So best ones of the evening. So still plenty of good stuff coming up here. If you're just joining us, welcome to the live stream. Let me know you're watching in the chat. Give us some reactions. Hit that thumbs up. Give us a like, follow, subscribe. It really does help. This next scam we're going to be talking about is wrong number scams. And look, this scam, we released a video about this scam. It's our our only video so far to go viral, but it went 102,000 views plus so far. So over 102,000 views on that video, which is amazing, at least for one of our videos. Would love to do that a couple more times. But anyway, yeah, wrong number scams. Pretty popular topic to get that many views, I would think. And what's great about getting a lot of views is that there's a lot of comments, and a lot of people in the comments were confirming, look, I got the same exact text message, the same exact pictures were sent, the same exact narrative was followed, right? So it was interesting getting the confirmation from people who were getting the same types of scams, these wrong number scams. So anyway, what is a wrong number scam? Scammers reach new victims by sending text messages to random phone numbers. When someone replies wrong number, the scammer attempts to continue the conversation and build a trust with the victim. As trust is gained, this type of scam evolves into a romance or pig butchering scam that ultimately steals money from the trusting victim. Right? So let me explain that. Let me break that down a little bit more, right? And because it's worth breaking down here. So wrong number scams are they're like the first part of a scam, right? They're how they reach a new victim and pull a new victim in, right? So the victim gets a text message. Hey, is this so-and-so? Right? No, wrong number. Oh, you seem friendly. Let's be friends. How old are you? Right? And they start to get this whole conversation going. Seems ridiculous, but they're good at what they do, and people fall for it, right? So they build this relationship all from starting from wrong number scam, right? So that's the whole first portion of a scam. But then it evolves, right? So where's the scam? The scam starts where now that they've used the wrong number scam to establish this conversation, now it evolves into either a romance scam or a pig butchering scam, right? Those are two scams it usually evolves into. Romance scam, obviously, is one of those scams where they get somebody romantically attached and trick them into giving them money and gift cards, things like that, right? But then there's the pig butchering scam, where they trick the person into investing into something, usually crypto. They trick the person into downloading an investment app, usually a crypto app. The person usually says something like, my uncle trades investments, or I have a family member that trades crypto, and we make all this money. You could join our group. Here's our app, right? But it's all a scam. The app is fake. Everything is fake, right? And it's known as a pig butchering scam. And a lot of them get started off by wrong number scams. Remember, wrong number scams are the first portion. You get a random wrong number message. The scammer befriends the victim, right? And then they say, hey, I have a great investment opportunity, or I make a lot of money with this investment app. Check it out. Or it goes into the romance scam side of things, right? So wrong number scams, they're the first part of two very dangerous scams. In fact, two of the most common scams that older folks are falling for, or losing the most funds, shall I say. Let me rephrase that. So in a recent report from the government, FTC, December 1st, they released a report about the protecting older folks out there, the scams and frauds, and the numbers that the older folks are being targeted with and falling for, right? And when they listed the scams, the top scams, and the most money that was lost to each, romance scams and pig butchering scams, investment scams, those were the two of the top scams that the older folks losing money to, the most money to, right? So, these two scams, romance scams, pig butchering scams, they're very damaging. A lot of money being lost to them. Okay, and surprisingly enough, they get kicked off a lot of times from these wrong number scams, which is why it's so important to realize what these wrong number scams are. You ever wonder why you get so many of these random text messages that don't seem to make sense? It's because of scam, these wrong number scams. All right? And really, the best thing you do is not engage, don't respond, don't talk. Don't even reply. If you reply, you let them know your number's active. All right, Dave just points out in chat, they love sending fake money-making graph charts. That's true. He's referring to the pig butchering scams. Right? What they do is they befriend the victim. They say, hey, I've been making lots of money off this investment, right? My uncle trades and this and that. Download this app, right? And the victim starts using this app, right? And the victim thinks that it's a real, legit trading app. And they're depositing money into this app, and they're watching their investment double, triple, quadruple, 10x, right? They're watching their investment just blow up every time. It gets bigger and bigger, but it's all fake. It's all fake, right? It's just, it's a part of the app. It's programmed to always show those types of returns, right? And the reason is they want the person to keep on depositing money. And when it comes to those pig butchering scams, they'll even let the person withdraw a little bit of the funds initially, just to give them that comfort that, oh, this must be legit. I can withdraw my funds. So, for example, they'll have them deposit $1,000, right? And then they'll let them withdraw, I don't know, $400, right? In fact, I know somebody, I'll have to talk to somebody I know. He'll give me the exact numbers that happened to him, unfortunately. I know somebody was scammed by these. But anyway, the point is these pig butchering scams, right? The whole app is fake, right? The whole trading app, the charts, the gains, the money you think you're earning, the trades, it's all fake, right? And it's built to trick you, to make you keep thinking that, wow, if I keep on feeding more money, usually crypto, if I keep feeding it in, I'm going to keep on getting bigger returns. And it's called a pig butchering scam. The reason it's called pig butchering is because it's like they say it's fattening up the pig, right? They're fattening up the pig. They're making the pig think that they're going to get rich. It keeps eating and eating. It's like, wow, look at all this, you know, he's getting fat. Look at all these returns. I'm you know, it's called fattening up the pig, right? It's not politically correct, I guess, to say, but that's what it's called. It's called fattening up the pig because you're getting greedy, right? And you think you're making all this money, so you just keep on dumping more money. And then once you have all your money into it, boom, you get slaughtered. They butcher the pig. They take your money. You find out nothing was real. Anyway, yeah, something like that. And a lot of times it all starts from wrong number scams, which is why it's so important to recognize these wrong number scams, not to engage or interact with these wrong numbers. And let me show you some examples, right? So look, they could start off with something like, I'm Margaret, are you Lillian? Right? No, it's a completely wrong number. The person replies back, I'm Izzy. Right? I'm really sorry. I think I made a mistake between your number and Lillian's number when saving your number. I hope I didn't disturb your good day. Right? The victim replies back, that's okay. Well, at this point, it should stop, right? It's been established as a wrong number. There's no reason for these conversations to keep on going, text messages to go. But because it's a scam, scammers can keep going. Scammer says, thank you for your understanding and patience. You're a kind person. I hope you have a good day today. I'm 36 years old. Would you mind telling me your age? Right? It's a scam. Okay, another example. Now, if they keep the conversation going, it's a scam. This isn't a real person trying to make friends through a text message. Have a cup of coffee together sometime. Right? You get a random message like that from a number you don't know. It replies back, who is this? Scammer replies back, well, if this isn't my friend Lauren, I'm Zoran, I'm Zoe. Have you forgotten? Wrong number. Right? They go back and forth. Kind of doesn't make sense, little grammar mistakes or whatever. I'm sorry, I thought this was Laura's number. I think I dialed the wrong number or area code. I hope I'm not bothering you. Nah, you're good. Have a great day. Right? Again, it should stop. But the scammer keeps, thank you for your kindness. I just realized I entered the wrong area code. Where are you from? Right? And they're asking where you're from. Right? This last example, they ask your age. Right? This example, where are you from? Now, eventually you're going to ask, you know, each example, you're going to ask those questions each time. And that's what they do. Now, look, at the very least, if you reply, you failed. You failed the test. Because now they know your number's active. They're going to target you even more. Right? But then even worse, you have the conversation. Now you're revealing details to them. You're answering their questions. You're letting them know your age, your location. Right? So now you're failing even worse. You know, you're revealing the information to them. Saying, no, you have an active number. Now they're associating your information with this number. Right? And now here's the thing. Here's the kicker. Initially, it's all a bot. It's not a real person initially. It's just a bot programmed to gather this information about you. And then once it gathers this information, eventually it hands you off to a real scammer. But at first, it's just a bot. And let me show you an example. Here's another example, right? Hi, Byron. I'm Jane. This one has a picture attached. Have you gotten the pictures I sent? Right, so the initial message comes in at 1:58 p.m. It has the picture attached. Right, so by the way, you know, scammers, they attach pictures too. Right, they'll attach pictures to try to give some incentive or you know, try to get a reply back. And what's interesting about this example, right, is that at 1:58 p.m., the initial message came in. Right, no reply. Right, 4 hours later on the dot, 5:58 p.m. So exactly 4 hours later, you get the follow-up message. Have you gotten the pictures I sent? Right? Why 4 hours later? Because it's programmed. It's a bot that's programmed that 4 hours later on the dot, if it didn't get a reply, to send this follow-up message. Right? And by the way, this is the example, one of the examples that we include in the video we did about wrong number scams, that we got a whole bunch of replies of people saying, Same exact message, same exact girl, right? Photo sent. Now here's the thing. This is actually an older example, right? This goes back not last October, but the October before that. So this is about a year and a few months old, this example, right? But AI has advanced so much now in the past year and a half, though, right? So this example right here, at the time, I suspected, okay, this could be a stolen picture, right? It might be a stolen picture from somebody. It might be a real person, right? But now, because of AI, this could have either been early generated AI, right? But nowadays, it's always AI, right? There's no point. They don't. Before you could research it, you could do a reverse image lookup, and you could see, do these pictures show up anywhere else, right? So I could take the picture of this girl, I could do a reverse image and see if it shows up as like 10 other different people, right? But now, because of AI, these scammers can just generate an image, right, for your scam. So it's even harder to tell if this was a real person. Is this AI generated? Like, what's going on here? All right, but I can tell you something for sure. It's a scam, right? It's a wrong number scam. You get these random messages from someone you don't know, or someone, pretending that I thought you were somebody else, but you seem nice. Let's be friends. Don't trust it. It's a scam. Don't reply. Even replying lets them know your number's real, right? So don't trust it. Wrong number scams. Watch out for them. Don't fall for them. This next one's an interesting one. I've been calling it a fake promotion gift card scam. And what this one is, I'm going to play a phone example recording of this scam. But what this fake promotion scam, pay with gift card, is when fraudsters impersonate a service provider usually and offer the victim a discount for paying with a retail gift card. Victims are tricked into purchasing gift cards and sending them to the scammer. Right? So for example, in the example I'm going to share with you, the scammers impersonating Comcast. They're claiming that your discount is going to expire, your bill's going to double. Saying their 50% discount's going to expire, it says. Right? It says call back today. And they leave a number to call back. But it's scammers. They're impersonating Comcast. If you call back the number, they're going to keep impersonating Comcast, but it's really a scammer. And what they're going to do now is, because you think you're talking to your internet provider, your cable provider, what they're going to do is they're going to say, well, your promotional discount expired, but we have another discount going on with Target. So if you pay with a Target gift card, we can still give you the same discounted price, right? So we need you to go to Target or Walmart or Walgreens and purchase a $500 Target gift card and provide us that gift card, right? And that's the whole scam. They impersonate Comcast. They say we apply it to your account and then you get to keep the same price, right? But it's all scam. It's all a trick to get the victim to purchase that gift card. Remember how we mentioned earlier in the red flags? Any mention of gift cards, all right? And in this case, this is a clever way that the scammers trick the victim into purchasing gift cards. They make them think, hey, we're doing a promotion. You get a big discount. You just got to purchase a Target gift card or an Apple gift card and pay with that gift card. It's a scam. Don't do it, right? And let me play you the recording of how the scam gets kicked off, right? Here's a phone call you might receive. In this case, it impersonates Comcast. Right.
Hello. This voicemail is from Comcast Xfinity. Your current 50% discount on your monthly bill will expire by the end of the day. To maintain your reduced rate, call the number on your caller ID immediately. This is your final reminder to act. Call back now. Thank you.
Right? Impersonates Comcast. Says your 50% discounts expire today. Final reminder to act. Call back. Right? Make it sound like it's urgent. Right? And if you call back, that's when they go into this scam. They say your discount's expiring, but we have a new promotion going on with Target. All right. But don't fall for it. It's a scam. If you're concerned that's real, don't call back the number. Instead, go home, look at your Comcast bill, and call them back directly. Right? But don't trust the phone numbers that scammers leave. So watch out for the fake promotion scam. And just because the example I shared is Comcast, hey, like everything else, I'm sure there's an example that insert your provider there, right? I'm sure there's a Verizon example, a Optum Online example, a T-Mobile example, any other provider. I'm sure the scammers are taking advantage of it. So be on alert regardless of what provider you have. You get phone calls like that, be suspicious. Don't call back a scammer thinking you're calling back your internet provider. All right, we're going to talk about some QR code scams next. These are becoming more and more common and important to be aware of. So first QR code scam we're going to talk about, and as an example of a snail mail scam too, meaning traditional mail, right, is an actual postcard offering a free gift. Right, now again, this type of scam, it could be online too, right? This one has a QR code on a postcard, but we see website pop-ups with QR codes, emails with QR codes, so this same scam could apply to email and websites as well, right? But the example that we're going to be sharing is going to be one that's actually a physical one. It's a postcard that could arrive right to your mailbox in your front door, right? And it offers a free gift and has a QR code to scan. All right, now this type of scam is nothing new, right? It was a very common scam. You just get these free gift offers all the time in the mail, right? But now since QR codes have become so mainstream and common, all these old scams, they kind of see as much anymore. You're seeing them again because now they just slap a QR code on them. So all those free gifts, offers that they used to send you in the mail, right? Now they all come with a QR code on them. All right, so basically victims receive a physical postcard in the mail offering a free gift. When the victim attempts to activate the gift card by scanning a QR code, malware is installed in their device, or a fake website is opened to steal personal information. And let me show you an example of what this might look like. All right, here's a physical postcard that arrives offering you free wireless Bluetooth earbuds. And it tells you to scan the QR code. But it's a scam. If you scan the QR code, according to this, it says it takes you to a phishing website that captures your personal information, such as your name, address, Amazon account info, and even your credit card number. All right, so look, if it sounds too good to be true, be suspicious. And notice how they're using the same Bluetooth wireless earbuds offer that's a fake retail website I showed you earlier offered, right? In fact, it wouldn't be surprising if you scanned this QR code if it took you to that website, or a website that works the same way, right? Because we know that other scams were eventually delivering people to those fake retail websites to get these Bluetooth earbuds. But anyway, again, for the sake of this purpose, don't scan QR codes that you don't know, right? And a good example of when you should scan and can trust and can scan is the one that comes on my screen that says donate, right? Because you see that slide going across my screen with the QR code that says scan this to donate. Right. Meanwhile, I'm sitting here saying don't trust QR codes, but I'm going to use mine as an example of a safe way to use a QR code. For example, on my QR code, right above it, under it, I forget exactly where it's positioned. You'll see it when it goes on the screen. It has the URL that you could go to directly. So the safest QR code is one that you don't even have to scan. If you could just go to the website directly, you ensure you're going to a website. You're not trusting the QR code to take you there, right? So in my case, you want to donate, Scanware 101, go to scanware101.com/donate. You could trust a QR code if you want to scan it, and it'll take you there. But you don't have to trust a QR code. You could just go directly to scanware101.com/donate, right? Because the safest QR code is one that you don't have to scan, right? And in this case, you have no idea what this QR code is going to take you, right? So right off the bat, there's reason to be suspicious. So be suspicious of QR codes that you don't know where to take you. If you have to scan them, at the very least, preview where they go to make sure they look like they're going to a legit location. Another example of a QR code scam to watch out for that we're hearing more and more about, mainly in cities, are these fake parking meter QR codes. Right, so what's happening is these scammers, they're printing out stickers of their own malicious QR codes, and they're slapping them on top of the legit ones, like parking meters. So you'll be parking your car you'll scan the QR code, you think you're paying for parking, you're actually giving a scammer your payment details, right? You walk away, you come back, you got a ticket on your car now for not paying parking, and your information got stolen by a scammer. And maybe even got towed, who knows? But nothing good comes from it, right? So if you're going to be parking your car, you're going to scan that QR code, make sure it doesn't look like it's going to be tampered with at all, right? If the QR code looks like it's tampered with, or there's a sticker on top of it, don't trust it. Also, usually there's instructions that says where to go. It'll usually say where to download the app or what app to use, right? You don't necessarily have to scan the QR code a lot of times. So if you could avoid scanning the QR code altogether to pay for parking, then avoid scanning the QR code. Just open the app directly and you'll pay it that way. Is the best practice, the safest way. But these scammers get creative. They're literally printing out QR code stickers and slapping them on top of legit ones. You know, they're fake ones, they're dangerous ones on top of legit ones. And sticking on the theme of parking, let's give you another example here. This one's been reported in the big cities too, is these fake tickets, actual paper tickets being left on people's vehicles, right? And on the ticket is a QR code to scan, right? It's covered. The person has it covered with their fingers in this example, but under his fingers is a QR code to scan. Scan that QR code, takes you to a fake website. You think you're paying a parking violation. You're actually giving your payment details to a scammer, right? So be suspicious of these paper parking violation, tickets that you find on your vehicle, especially in the cities. This example shows, they're impersonating the city of Houston, but we also saw reports in Denver as well as one that sticks out in my mind. But really, all the major cities, you need to watch out for this scam. They put these fake white tickets on there. You scan the QR code, takes you to a fake website, and steals your payment details. They don't just charge you $75. It's not about them charging you $75. It's about them stealing whatever payment details you enter, and then they run and use the payment detail and purchase thousands of dollars of stuff. Right, or whatever else they're going to do with it. It's going to be a lot more than $75, right? So don't think you're just getting scammed out of $75. You're actually going to get your payment details reused to purchase serious stuff. So anyway, don't fall for this scam if you're in a major city or a city in general and someone leaves this type of ticket on your vehicle windshield. All right, cool. We're right on track here. If anybody that's just joining, welcome to the live stream. It's your first time here. Good to have you. Say hi in the chat. If you're shy, just hit the like button. Give us a like, a follow, subscribe. We really do appreciate it. It does help spread the word about these scams. We also have a merch store available. You visit our YouTube channel. You check out the link here too to our gift shop and merch store here. Or at the bottom of our website. We're on all your favorite social media platforms, so follow us and get reminders and scam awareness tips. Every week we do this live stream. Every Thursday, 5:45 p.m. You can see our schedule here on our website coming up. Every Thursday, 5:45 p.m. So make sure to tune in, add an alarm, a recurring alarm to your phone for 5:45 p.m. Eastern. Join the free mailing list. We'll send you a reminder an hour before. You join the free mailing list on our website, scamaware101.com. You join mailing list. We'll keep you posted and up to date. This next scam we're going to talk about grandparent scams. Who knows about these grandparent scams? Let me know in the chat. So look, these grandparent scammers, they're pretty ruthless, pretty low. Lowest of the low. They're literally trying to scam the grandparents out there and the older folks. That's why it's called the grandparent scam. It literally targets the older folks. And it uses the younger folks, their loved ones, their children, their grandchildren as victims. Right? So how does grandparent scam works? Is scammers impersonate a distressed relative claiming to have been arrested and needing financial help. Victims, usually seniors, act quickly to assist their loved ones. The scammers will often impersonate law enforcement, court personnel, and lawyers to extract even more money from the victim. Right. So look, this is one of those scams where when you hear about it, it's hard to believe. It's like, how would they would know if it's a scammer or not, impersonating their loved one. They would actually know if it was their daughter or granddaughter, but not necessarily. Right. And we have a video here that I like to share on this live stream. It's a short clip. It's from this other YouTube. There's a YouTuber. He goes by name Scam Sandwich that he messes with the scammers. It's a short clip from his much longer video that he has on his YouTube channel. So if you want to see the full video, check out his YouTube channel. Again, it's called Scam Sandwich is his YouTube username. But this is just a short clip from his video. And just to frame what's happening here this is a grandparent scammer. He's located in the Dominican Republic. Right? And what happened was the YouTuber, Scam Sandwich, he hacked into this scammer's computer. It's his laptop. And he watched him on his webcam. So we're actually able to watch this scammer through his webcam. He doesn't know it, but we're able to watch him do a grandparent scam, and attempt a grandparent scam. You could hear him call the victim. You could hear the victim on the phone. You could hear him go through a narrative, and we could watch him impersonate the loved one, right? So maybe you get kind of understanding of how someone could fall for this. So let's watch this video here, and you'll see he only impersonates the loved one for the first 20 seconds or so. It's very quick. Right, it's quick, confusing, right, and it could really be anybody's loved one. But anyway, let me play the video, and let me know what you think in the chat and in the comments if you're watching.
Oh, Mom, I had a car accident.
Huh?
I had a car accident, Mom.
Is this Linda?
It's me, Linda.
Where are you?
I got a car accident.
What happened?
I'm gonna put the officer on. I got arrested.
You got arrested?
Hi, ma'am.
Yes.
Hi, are you Linda's mom?
Yes.
What I'm gonna need you to do is grab a pen and paper and write down Linda's case number, ma'am. I need you to hurry up, please, ma'am.
Case number?
It's the number 2.
2?
The letter B as in boy. Can you read that back to me?
2B.
Now, I'm going to read what's going on, ma'am, okay?
Okay.
Linda was involved in a car accident. It was stated in the police report. She admitted that was her fault. While she was driving, she was using her phone. That's what caused the accident, ma'am, okay?
Oh, man.
The woman that was driving the other vehicle was 7 months pregnant. We had to rush her into the nearby hospital. She might lose her baby.
Oh, really?
Yes. Now, we actually confiscated her cell phone for legal evidence, so she cannot receive or cannot make calls. This is going to be her only last call. Are you with me, ma'am?
Yes, I am.
Now, she actually wrote a note down here saying that she didn't want anyone to know about this. Let's honor her wish for right now because it's too much for her right now. That's what she's saying.
Okay.
What I'm going to need you to do, ma'am, is stay by the phone and wait for the lawyer to call, okay?
Okay.
Okay, bye-bye, ma'am.
All right, bye.
The next. Look, so I think that clip is wild. I think it kind of gives a peek about how somebody could fall for this. He only impersonates the daughter for 20 seconds. Right, it sounds very distressed. It's a confusing situation. There's noise in the background. It could really be anybody's loved one. And then he immediately switches to impersonating a police officer. Right, so the senior is sitting there thinking that she just heard, just spoke to her loved one quickly, and now she thinks that she's talking to a police officer. Right, so another point about this scam also is notice how the scammer said, "Stand by. We're going to be calling you back." Right. Well, what happens with this scam is this scammer that we just watched, he's known as an opener, right? He calls the victim initially and he kicks off the scam. He opens the scam, right? But in this scenario, he's handing it off now to a closer. And the closers are the ones that impersonate all these different people and agencies that need to get paid. They'll call her back. They'll call the victim back. They'll impersonate defense attorneys and say they need to be paid. They'll impersonate police officers and say they need to be paid. They'll impersonate court personnel and say they need to be paid. They'll impersonate county clerks and say they need to be paid. They'll just keep on making up agencies that keep on need to get paid before they'll release her loved one, right? It's a scary situation. Her loved one's fine. This whole thing's a scam. None of this is even happening, right? But she doesn't realize that. So, and these scammers are going to bleed her dry, right? Just a quick note, the video we just watched here of that scammer, the person, Scam Sandwich, the guy on YouTube, he was able to warn the potential victim in this scenario. So the person you just heard on the other line, the older woman who thought her loved one was in trouble, she didn't lose any money. She was warned in time before the scammer could take anything from her. But anyway, interesting scam. I think that video sheds a lot of light onto how somebody could fall for this. You know, how quick it happens and how the situation seems like it's an emergency, right? So anyway, grandparent scam. Watch out for it. If you're the older ones in this situation, be aware. Don't fall for it. And if you're the younger ones in this situation, make sure the older folks in your family are aware of this. This way they don't fall for this scam. Next scam we're going to talk about is fake order scams. It's important to be aware of this type of scam, these fake order scams. We did a video about it. I definitely recommend checking it out later, sharing it with a friend. But these fake order scams, we're being targeted from every direction by these scams. And what I mean by that is that we're being targeted by email, by text messages, by phone call, and all different versions. The thing that's a threat about these fake order scams is that these scammers, they can pretend to be any vendor. They can pretend that you purchased any item, right? The whole idea is that they're claiming an order was placed, and they're going to trick you into calling them and trick you into trying to dispute this fake order with a scammer, right? How it works is victims receive a fake notification that an order was made under their account. When the victim calls to dispute the fake order, a scammer impersonates customer support and attempts to steal their personal and financial information, right? So the whole idea is this works similar to the tech support scam where they trick the victim into calling fake tech support. This one tricks the victim into calling a fake customer support number, right? And it can start off with any kind of notification. It could be email notification, it could be a text message notification, or it could be somebody calling on the phone saying that an order was placed and they're calling to confirm it with you, right? So, and I have examples and stories of all of these to share with you in regards to that, right? So let's start off with the text message version of these fake order scams. How it works is you get a text message. By the way, this example you see was provided to me by many people. I received it. Many other people received it and reported it to me. It was a very common scam text message, and it's still floating around, and similar versions still floating around. But basically, it impersonates Apple. It says, "We have noticed your Apple iCloud ID was recently used at Apple's store for $143. Your Apple Pay pre-authorization." And then it goes on to say, "Call this number immediately to cancel this charge if it's not you." Right? But that's the scam. They're trying to trick you into thinking, I didn't purchase anything for $143. I better call this number to dispute it. Right? You don't realize you're calling a scammer. You think you're calling Apple. You're actually calling a scammer. All right? So that's the text message version of this. And again, the way these fake order scams work is they claim to be from anyway. Just because this one says they're from Apple, they could claim they're from Amazon. They could claim they're from where else? Where else does everybody buy off of? It's pretty bad when all I can think of off the top of my head is Amazon. But they could claim to be anybody. Apple, Amazon, CVS, Walgreens, your bank, right? The fake notification. But anyway, in this example, they impersonated Apple. Don't trust the number. Never trust phone numbers, contact information that you weren't expecting. Text messages that you weren't expecting. You call back this number, it's going to be bad. What they're going to do is they're going to go into this whole false narrative about your identity being stolen. And that's where they go into, you need to transfer money out of your account. These are damaging scams. They seem harmless, getting a text about a $143 charge, but it leads to a much bigger scam if you call back that number. Right? So, look, that's the text message version of the scam. But I mentioned we're being targeted from all directions, right? These fake order scams. And another direction is phone calls. And I have 2 phone call recordings to play for you. Right, and these are fake order scams, and they call you and they claim an order was placed, and then they tell you to press 1 or call back number, right? But if you do, you're going to be connected to a scammer, Right, so let me play these two recordings for you. And again, multiple people reported these exact calls to me. So let me know in the chat if you receive these calls at all.
This call is to authorize the payment of $1,499 for the recent order of Apple MacBook Pro on your Amazon account. If you do not authorize this payment, please press 1 to speak to our customer support representative.
Right, so that fake order scam phone call impersonates Amazon, and it claims a MacBook Pro was purchased for $1,400 on your account. Right, so the idea is for you to freak out and be like, what, $1,400? And then you press 1 or you call back the number to dispute it. Right, a lot of times you think you're calling Apple, but you're calling a scammer. So that's how this scam works. Let's listen to a second phone call. Same type of scam, but they just swap out different vendor's name, swap out an item. Right, that's what's dangerous. They could say it from anyone and anywhere, whether you have an account with them or not. Right. The next example is going to be they impersonate Walmart, I believe. Yeah, they impersonate Walmart, and they claim a PlayStation was purchased on your account. So let's listen to this call.
We are trying to contact you concerning an unverified purchase of PlayStation 5 Special Edition bundled with Pulse 3D headset being ordered from your Walmart account for an amount of $859.50. If you did not authorize this transaction or wish to cancel, please press 1 or return our call on same number at your earliest convenience.
Right, but if you press 1, you get connected to a scammer. But you think you get charged $800 for PlayStation, you might be quick to press 1, right, without thinking. So that's how these scams work. They try to trigger you to react quickly. And let's go over one more example here. So listen to two voicemails. I showed you a text message version of that scam as well. All right, but what about email, right? Because we're also being targeted there. And for that, we have a victim story to talk about. 23-year-old Lincoln woman reported losing $4,100 after falling victim to identity fraud scam in July. The scam began July 17th with an email claiming she had purchased an iPhone. The woman called the number provided in the email to dispute the purchase. Right, so I'm going to stop right there. Boom. Right, that's the fake order scam. That's how it works. And then it evolves into your identity's been stolen, that type of scam. But see what happened? She gets the fake order notification, which was an email. In this case, the email claimed she purchased an iPhone and it instructed her to call and dispute. Right? She called to dispute. Probably thought she was talking to Apple since it's an iPhone, right? But she's actually talking to the scammer. And that's how these fake order scams work. They make you think you purchased something, trick you into calling the scammer. And what's interesting about this article and why I like to share these victim stories is because it kind of gives us a peek to what happened next. Right? So in her case, she falls for the trick, right? She calls this number to dispute it. She's calling a scammer, doesn't realize it. And what happens is she's told by the scammer that she has multiple accounts open across various states and someone's using her identity. According to police, scammers then connected the woman to a person posing as a CIA agent who instructed her to withdraw $3,600 from her bank account. The next day, she was directed to use the money to purchase Walmart gift cards and send photos and receipts. Additionally, the woman sent another $500 gift card to the scammers. All right, so that's it. That's how these fake order scams work. In her case, they told her to, eventually told her to purchase gift cards. At that point, it could vary. They might tell you to purchase gold. They might tell you to take out cash and have a courier pick it up. So it still could vary. But in her case, that's what happened. Right? So it's important not to fall for these fake order notifications. If you're concerned it's a real notification, reach out directly to Apple. Check your Apple account directly. Right? But don't trust the contact information. Don't trust links or phone numbers that the message contains. Because that's how they get you. They get you to call a fake phone number. So that's fake order scams. They're a threat. We have a video about that one. Share it with your friends and family. And be aware, because I'm telling you, they're coming from all directions. They could claim to be from anywhere. They could claim any item was purchased for any amount. The whole idea is just to get you to call back and dispute it. So do not fall for it. Next scam we're going to talk about is another snail mail example, but again, it still applies to regular mail as well, or regular mail, email, right? Email or any other communication claiming you have some kind of inheritance. But the example we're going to show you is actually a snail mail version, a letter version. But inheritance scams. Victims are contacted with claims of a large inheritance from an unknown relative. But to claim it, they must pay fees or provide personal details. These scams exploit curiosity and greed to steal money and identity information. Look, at the end of the day, this was what happens. They claim you have a relative that died. You're entitled to an inheritance. They could handle it all for you, right? But you're going to have to pay taxes and fees up front, right? Most of the time, that's a scam. You pay the taxes, you pay the fees. They steal that. There is no inheritance. You don't get anything, and you're out of the fees and taxes you paid. Right? Other times, they have you set up accounts, and then they use those accounts for fraud, or they use your personal information for identity theft, right? But a lot of cases, the whole goal is to get you to pay fees and taxes, supposedly, that they steal. No, there is no inheritance. But an example of one of these inheritance scams, and the snail mail version, the actual letter. Look, this letter, you'll see that's dated November 29th, 2024. So it's just over a year old, a year and a couple months. It's not old at all, still circulating, right? And look, this letter arrives in your mailbox. It has a official looking letterhead, logo, law office, name, right? Sounds very professional. And the letter says it's a law firm located in Canada. Their client shares the same last name as you. They couldn't locate anybody else, right? But since you share the same last name, you're entitled to a $10.8 million inheritance, right? They can facilitate it all for you and process it on your behalf. It's risk-free, yada, 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 right? And they say this claim requires a high level of confidentiality. It may take up to 30 business days, right? But notice the request for confidentiality. There's that red flag we talked about that I told you I would point out, right? That request for confidentiality. Who are they to tell you to keep your inheritance secret, right? But the scammers don't want to talk to anybody. So that's one example of how they kind of squeeze that in there, asking for confidentiality. But anyway, so yeah, $10.8 million, right? And imagine the fees and taxes that you would pay initially to get that, supposedly. Scammers could try to steal that from you. So very common scam, actually, even though you would think that it's less common because it's a snail mail scam. But a quick Google search found plenty of results about the scam. Plenty of people reported receiving the exact same letter. The only difference was the last name was swapped out to match. And one interesting detail about this scam is that the person it was addressed to, their last name there where it says Dear, I blurred out, but the last name of the person it was addressed to, the scammer made sure the last name it was addressed to, it matches the last name of their supposed deceased client. So they make sure the correct last name is used in both parts of the letter, right? So tons of people reported receiving the same letter. The only difference was the last name was swapped out to match theirs. So it's that attention to detail that tricks people, right? You get a letter that actually has your name on it, and you're thinking, wow, maybe this is legit. Don't fall for it. You still a quick Google search for some of this text will reveal that this is a scam. So don't fall for it. Be suspicious. That's an example of an inheritance scam. That's the letter version, but you could easily get an email that says the same thing, right? So don't trust either way. Be aware of this type of scam. Who's with me? Who's still with me? Let me know if you're out there. I see Dave is still in the chat. Always appreciate you, Dave. So this next scam we're going to talk about, we did a video about this one too. This one's, I find it interesting. It's another clever way. It's another clever gift card scam. And they use a check too. So basically, its technical name was referred to as a secret survey check scam, right? But really what it is a mystery shopper check scam, right? It's basically you get a letter in the mail. It impersonates Walgreens and CVS. And this is a real example, by the way, that we have up on the screen here. All right, you can see how it says Walgreens, CVS. It says, congratulations on your accomplishment. This package contains what you need to complete your first secret survey assignment. So have fun, make money, and help us improve global customer service. Kindly note that this letter includes a checklist with required steps to carry out the survey effortlessly. The payment in the envelope is a check of $2,480 to cover the cost of carrying out the survey. That is, evaluation costs and your commission of $450. Right? So you get this letter in the mail, and included in the letter is a check for $2,480. And basically, it says you've been selected as a mystery shopper. Go to Walgreens or CVS. Right? It says first, it says deposit this check for $2,400. Deposit it, and then within 12 to 24 hours, it says purchase these gift cards from Walgreens and CVS, and you get to keep $450 as a commission. Right? They make it sound super simple. You get this mail, you think it's your lucky day. Wow, you got the check in hand. This is great. It's all a big scam. What happens is when you deposit that check, at first the bank doesn't realize it's a bad check. So you deposit it, shows up in your account. You're thinking, great, $2,400, wonderful. You go to a store, CVS, Walgreens, you follow the instructions, you buy the $2,000 worth of gift cards that this instructs you to buy. Right? Red flag gift cards. Right? You provide it to the scammer, you think you're fulfilling your assignment. You're providing it to the scammer thinking that's Walgreens or CVS. Right? You're all good. 24 hours goes by. You're kicking back. Everything's said and done. You gave the gift cards to the scammer. You sent pictures to the scammer. You think you made your $450, easy cash, right? And then you get a notification from your bank that the check was bad and the funds were withdrawn from your account. It was reversed. The funds are gone, right? And that $2,000 now that you just spent on gift cards, now you're in the red for them. You owe the money now, right? Because you spent that $2,000 that you thought came from that check that was good. It was bad. It was no good. You spent that $2,000. And if you overdraw your account now, if you didn't have the $2,000 in your account, the banks can hit you with a fee on top of it for overdrafting your account, right? So a scam just sucks all the way around for the victim. But it's a clever way to trick victims into purchasing gift cards. That's why these gift cards always need to set off a red flag. They just think of these clever ways to get you to buy gift cards. And believe it or not, this is a pretty common scam. Here's a second example of the same type of scam. Very similar, Walgreens and CVS. The check amount is different. This one, the check amount is $1,987, almost $2,000 instead of $2,480, right? But this one just instructs to buy 3 gift cards instead of 4, so $1,500 instead of $2,000. This one recommends a few different stores to go to. What's interesting is on this example, it tells you to either go to Walgreens or CVS, right? But it says you can purchase Apple gift cards, Razor Gold gift cards, Nike gift cards, Steam Wallet gift cards, right? So you can pick any of those gift cards. Just buy them from Walgreens or CVS. That's what this first scam letter instructs you, right? So this scammer will take multiple kinds of gift cards. On the second example, this letter instructs you to purchase gift cards, only Apple. This one only wants you to get Apple gift cards. So this scammer prefers Apple, apparently, right? But instead of just saying Walgreens and CVS, he lists a whole bunch of other stores you go purchase the gift cards from. Walgreens, Best Buy, Target, Rite Aid, Family Dollar, Meijer, Kroger, Safeway. The list goes on and on. Speedway, Walmart. So this scammer doesn't care where you get them from, just as long as they're Apple gift cards. But at the end of the day, you're going to end up stuck in the hole, paying for them. So don't fall for it, right? The whole reason this type of scam works is when people don't realize that it takes time for a check to clear, right? People deposit the check. The bank, a lot of times, they'll issue the funds, in good faith, right? And people think, oh, great, everything's fine. They don't realize 24 hours later, if that's a bad check, you're going to find out about 24 hours later, which is also why this scam letter, it tells you within 12 to 24 hours, because the scammer knows that the clock is ticking. It knows once you deposit that check, they only got 12 to 24 hours, for you to go purchase these gift cards. So anyway, it's a clever gift card scam. They call it a secret survey check scam, but it's a mystery shopper scam. We did a video about this. All these examples are in that video. Check it out. And don't fall for it. If you get a letter like this with a check included, right? Just because a check's included doesn't make it any more legit than that there isn't. Right? Don't fall for it. Whoa! And just like that, we're at the end of our scam list here. That came up out of nowhere. Look at that. We started live stream at 8:45 p.m. Eastern. I'm sorry, 5:45 p.m. Eastern. Now it is 8:55, so we just crossed over 3 hours here. Not too shabby. We had our Facebook live stream crash. We had our Instagram live stream crash. Can never really rely on them anyway, but we're still going strong here on YouTube with our 2 live streams. So I appreciate anybody that's still out there and watching. Hitting that react button, saying hi in the chat, letting us know you're out there. Still see Dave here. Appreciate you, everybody else. And you know what? Let's go check out the scam tracker map. Because this is what we'd like to do on these live streams for anybody that's watching for the first time. We usually wrap up these live streams by checking out the AARP scam tracker map, for the next 20 minutes or so, and we see what scams are being reported by people, right? And these reports are only a couple days old, so they're very recent, and they give us an idea of what scams are trending, and they also give us, the ones that give us details are great, because we can kind of see what tactics these scammers are using too. But before we do that, just one more time, last chance to hit that like, subscribe, and follow button. If you're watching behind the scenes and being quiet, that's fine, but give us a like, give us a follow, give us a subscribe. We appreciate it. Make sure to join our free mailing list on scamaware101.com. It's the best way to keep up to date with our live streams. We post new content, send out scam alerts. It's all free. Unsubscribe anytime, but you're not going to want to. It's fine. Join mailing list, scamaware101.com. Follow us on your favorite social media, YouTube, Blue Sky, X, Facebook, Threads, Instagram. We have links to all of our profiles on our homepage here. Again, scamaware101.com. Make sure to join that mailing list while you're there. And check out our merch shop. It's on our YouTube channel, and we have a gift shop link over at the bottom of our site here. You can buy some mugs and mouse pads and water bottles and stickers to help support our mission over here. Now you see them on the screen right there. All useful items keep on your desk to help remind yourself or a loved one, not to fall for these scams. It looks like the price dropped on a bunch of these. It's interesting. It's almost like it spiked before the holidays and then decreased. I wonder what's up with that. I don't handle all that. It's like the spread shop place. So, but anyhow, whatever. They're overpriced, but they help fund what we do over here. We appreciate it. Just one way you can support us. And you can always donate directly too. Scamware101.com/donate. Donate directly. And we have all the YouTube methods enabled too. Super thanks or super chats, whatever they're called. We've got the memberships enabled, so we appreciate it. Anything a little bit helps. And with that said, let's start getting towards the end of this live stream here where we check out the scam tracker map. Let's see what people are reporting for the first time in 2026. And by the way, it's on the tools and software section of our website here, scamware101.com, tools and software. And one of the last links all the way at the bottom of the page, we see the ARP scam tracking map. Click that. It'll pop up. It'll ask if you want your location. I'm going to say never, right? Because I want it to actually show me all the reports coming in nationwide. So you can do that. It'll just show you nationwide reports. Otherwise, you can put in your location. It'll tell you what's coming local too, if that matters to you. But I get a nationwide report here. And these reports, the most recent ones that we see here, are from January 6th, so 2 days ago, which is normal. Most of the reports, most recent, they'll show up 2 days ago. So look, all these reports we're about to take a look at, they were literally reported 2 days ago, right? Earlier this week. So they're very active scams. They're circulating, and they're important to be aware of. So let's see if they match up the scams that we discussed this evening, or some different ones worth talking about. I was called. The person said I didn't show up for court jury duty on a felony, and for not showing up, the court was going to be, there you go, an arrest warrant scam. So these are still going strong in 2026. We talked about these arrest warrant scams, but let's see what she put in her report. Let's get some details here. The person. So first of all, it's a phone call scam. She says I was called. The person said I didn't show up for court jury duty on a felony, and for not showing up the court, I was going to be fined, and they text me a court, it's a little spelling errors, and a court number saying it was for $150,000. I need to put up 10% and go to our bills, and then it was added that I was a contempt of court, automatically added for $150,000. I needed to get money to cash to pay a bail's bondman. Sorry, it's the grammar's a little, the spelling's a little off, so a little hard to read, but you're getting the gist of it, I think. A bail bondman. So when I went to look for a bill, I need to go to this machine. They need to go to this machine and put it in there, at which time I contacted the marshal's office, and they said it was a scam. Already taken the money out of the bank I was heading for a sheriff's department first, but they said I needed to see a bail bondsman. But I got wise when they wanted me to put it in a machine at a convenience store. Yeah, okay. So here, I'm going to summarize this a little bit for you. But even though this is hard to read, he did give some okay details. Call number is, wow, they actually used the phone number from the Frank Crowley Sheriff's Building. I called the number and they said that was for incoming calls only. Wow, okay. So look, what this person's reporting is they're reporting an arrest warrant scam, right? And they're being told that the person missed jury duty, which is a felony, right? And because of that, an arrest warrant has been issued for them, right? They gave them a fake court number and fake paperwork, it sounds like, and had some big numbers on it, right? It told me I had to pay up 10%, and they instructed for a bail bondman, all right? And then they instructed them to withdraw money and deposit it into probably the Bitcoin ATM machine, right? So it's a little hard to follow, but that follows, that's the protocol, right? You get these arrest warrant calls. And by the way, he says that the caller ID showed the sheriff's building's phone number, right? So again, this is an example of scammers. They manipulate caller ID. So again, this person gets a phone call. Caller ID says it's his local sheriff's building, right? Caller ID says it's the sheriff's building, shows the number and everything, right? The person on the other end says, you missed jury duty. That's a felony. We're issuing a warrant for your arrest unless you pay these bills. You have to pay us this much. It's 10%, blah, blah, blah. Withdraw the money, go to this location and deposit it into this machine, right? That's how a scam works. He deposits that money into the machine, it's gone. It gets converted to cryptocurrency. The scammer gets it. You're never getting it back. So that's a perfect example of arrest warrant scam and how it works and how they told the person to use that Bitcoin ATM machine, how to deposit money in the machine. So classic tactics, and they're still being used as of 2 days ago. So watch out for this scam, these arrest warrant scams. And hey, that's one we covered. So far so good. That's 1 for 1. Let's see what our next scam is. Chatbot call to my cell phone from Jenna Walker of Funeral Expense. Let's see. Elder scams and fraud. Let's see what this says. Doesn't give any idea. Doesn't give enough details. Let me hit back. Let's go to the next report. Identity theft. Received a call telling me that someone was attempting to use. All right, let's see. Here we go. This might look like a good one. Received a call from 214 ... telling me that someone was attempting to use the last 4 digits of my social and my name to open up a credit card in California. When I told him that I was going to check my Equifax account to see if there was any notification, the caller got very upset and said, no, you can't do that. All right, she doesn't give any more details, but hey, there we go. That's one of these scam attempts. That's an opening that these scammers might use. They call you, right? Maybe they claim to be from your bank or Social Security. They tell you somebody's using your number, right? And then they go into a whole narrative about your identity's being stolen, you need to move your money. All right, so typical scam right there. Watch out. Anybody calling up, asking details, claiming that there's issues, you got to hang up, verify through official channels, right? Take a look at another report here. And we're going to wrap this up in a couple minutes, unless it gets a little louder in the chat, a little quiet. So we'll check out a couple more reports and we'll get this live stream wrapped up. Government imposter scam. Someone calling repeatedly from about a dozen times about my Social Security being compromised. So look, I kind of started off this live stream earlier. I mentioned it a lot about how expect to see IRS and Social Security scams right now. It's that time of year. We're going to see them picking up in all different ways, right? And here's someone reporting, they're getting calls all day long. Someone claiming that your Social Security has been compromised. So this sounds like a common scam that's going around right now. They're saying your account's been compromised, having to do with Social Security, asking the last 4 digits of your account, right? So that's 2 reports right there, involving Social Security scams. So as expected, it's that time of year. Debt-related scam. Received a call from Jasper and Alan requesting that I contact immediately or they will garnish my check. Let's see if they give any details. We don't really talk about debt-related scams, but they are out there. They are common. They're worth knowing about. I received a call requesting contact immediately, garnish my check, file a court case against me. The number they gave the call then back was, they also gave me a bogus case number. So, I've actually had this scam reported to me before, and what's interesting about it is they do give you a case number, which is interesting. And if you call back and you give them that case number, they're able to look up your info too. So they actually, or at least in my experience with this scam, the one I looked into, if someone reported it to me, it was a voicemail, saying, you owe money and sounding very threatening with a court case and garnish check. They leave a number to call back and a case number. When I investigated it, I called back. I gave them the case number. They knew who it was in reference to, right? They knew the name of the person it was actually sent to. So that definitely adds a level of belief to this scam. But it's a scam, nevertheless. So be aware of that. Don't let the case number and them looking you up, be able to, convince you. But this is a good example of that debt collection scam. I would love to get more details about this scam for future reference, but at least that's how it kicks off, right? Watch out for these phone calls, claiming to be for debt collection and threatening, even if they leave a case number. And what we'll do is we'll look at the last 4 reports on this page here, and then we'll get this wrapped up. So last chance to say hi in the chat, give me some reactions, some well wishes for New Year's, all that good stuff. Business imposter scam. Received an unwanted group text. Oh, good. This is worth talking about. These group texts in general. But first, let's see what this report says. It looks like it gives some detail, too. He says, I received an unwanted group text from an unidentified sender along with 11 other people. A number to respond to appears within the message text. Here's the text. Hi, this is Layla from Glassdoor. Okay, so employment scam. This is Layla from Glassdoor hiring team. We have a perfect position for you, helping popular apps boost visibility, downloads, working hours. Yes, this is your typical employment job scam text message. And it was sent in a group text. You know what? I'm not sure if Katie's still on, but if I'm remembering correctly, I think you might have said you got these group text scam messages a couple weeks ago. And you're mentioning that they were job offers and they were in group texts. I think it was you. If not, it was somebody else. But we're starting to see scammers using these group texts, which is interesting. But there's a couple of reasons they do that, actually. We did a short video about this too. Check it out on our YouTube channel. But the reason they do that is because it actually hides their number sometimes. Right? They're able to start the group text. Sometimes they don't send a message to it. You don't know who created the group text. Right? But now they're able to monitor the numbers, see if they're active. But sometimes they just create group text just to hit more people with it. Right? But anyway, watch out for these fake job offers. Look, legit job offers aren't just going to send you through random text messages. And by the way, a lot of these job offers are too good to be true, too. Definitely not the type of job offers a group of people would just be getting handed. So I'll be suspicious. Group texts in general, they're bad news. If you don't know numbers, block them. Don't leave the group. Leaving a group notifies them that your number's legit. Instead, block it. Last 2 scam reports we're going to look at here. Government imposter scam. Their Social Security. Review your Social Security earnings. All right, look. This sounds like a similar scam to the one that we kind of kicked off this live stream with. We showed you a fake statement email that tries to trick you downloading something dangerous. But here's another report. Social Security imposter email. Review your Social Security earnings. Review required earnings. Record discrepancy statement. Yeah, okay, so look, this is just another Social Security scam. It's an email, claims there's some kind of issue, and tries to get you to click a link to view the statement. So it's another way to get you to use a fake statement to get you to download malware. And it's impersonating Social Security, right? So just like the example we showed you earlier, where it claims to be a statement from Social Security, click this link, right? Here's just another example of a Social Security email trying to get you to fake email, claim to be from Social Security, and trying to get you to click a link. Look, it's that time of year. Lots of Social Security scams in these reports. Haven't seen many IRS ones yet, but they're coming. All right, so look, lots of Social Security. If anything from this live stream, if there's anything to worry about this time of year, it appears to be Social Security. And the scammers are on it. Let's look at this last report here. Gift card scams and fraud. I bought a gift card and put $500 on it, and it appears that the money was gone when attempting to redeem it. Oh, well, let's see if they give any other details. But if not, I think I can give you some details. Yeah, okay. So this is an interesting scam that we're starting to hear about. And from my understanding how it works, if I'm understanding it correctly, is that these scammers, what they're doing is they're taking barcodes, right? That I guess they're stickers, right? They buy a legit gift card, right? And they take the barcode, right? They make a sticker out of it. They take a sticker, right, from a gift card that they have. They didn't load it or anything, but they have the gift card, right? They're basically copying the barcode on this empty gift card. They take a sticker of that barcode and they're placing it on these gift cards that are still on the shelf, right? They're covering the barcodes on these other gift cards with the one that they have. So what happens is somebody purchases one of these gift cards off the shelf where the real code is covered. It's covered by the scammer's code, right? The person goes, they think they're loading their gift card, they put $500 on their gift card, they leave the store, they don't realize what they scanned the sticker that's on the code, the malicious one, the one that the scammer put there. So they actually loaded the scammer's gift card instead, right? So apparently there's been a lot of that. We heard a lot about that type of scam happen during the holidays where people purchasing gift cards. There was warnings saying, make sure it doesn't look like somebody put a sticker on top of the barcode and that wasn't tampered with. But that might have been what happened in this person's case. They basically says they purchased a gift card for $500 and it was gone. Well, it never got loaded probably. What happens is they probably loaded somebody else's card, a scammer's card, without realizing it. Interesting scam. Watch out for it. I don't know, folks. I think that's about it. I think we can get this wrapped up. Unless anybody suddenly pops into the chat suddenly. But hey, I'm feeling pretty good about 2026. The scammers are feeling pretty good too. But I'm feeling pretty good. And we have 50 live streams scheduled this year for 2026. This was the first one. This was live stream number 1 of 2026. 49 to go. So again, we appreciate you. Thank you so much for stopping to the live stream. Anybody that's still here and watching, we appreciate you all. Oh, special shout out to Carmen. I don't know if you're watching, Carmen, but Carmen was a wonderful lady I met this holiday weekend. She watches the live stream with her church friends. Had a wonderful conversation with her. Talked about some scams that she was targeted with. Thank you so much for watching, Carmen. If you're watching right now, I appreciate you. And I'll make sure to clip this and send it later. Make sure you see the shout out for you. So thanks for all the support and any of your church friends who are watching too. Appreciate you all. Stay safe out there. And anybody else that's in the chats, thanks again for watching. John, Dave, Katie, appreciate you. You're here every week. Always appreciate the support. Anybody else that's watching behind the scenes, appreciate the likes, the follows, the subscribes. Make sure to join our free mailing list. Scamaware101.com is the best way to stay updated with the scam awareness news. We'll send you reminders when we're going live, when we post new videos, helping you stay safe. Pick up a Scamware mug from our merch shop if you haven't got it yet. It's over on our YouTube channel or the gift shop link on our store. Follow us on all your favorite social media platforms: YouTube, Blue Sky X, Instagram, Threads, and Facebook. And hey, set an alarm. Mark your calendar every week, every Thursday, 5:45 p.m. Eastern. Scamware 101 live stream over here on YouTube. YouTube is the most reliable, apparently, because Facebook and Instagram they work sometimes, and tonight wasn't one of them. But thanks again, everybody who joined. It's good having you all. And that's about it. Happy New Year to everybody. 2026. Maybe a safe, healthy, happy New Year for everybody. Let's make it a good one, folks. That's it. That's all I got. Have a great night, everybody. Have a great week. Great weekend. I hope to see you next week. Same time, same place, 5:45 p.m. Eastern, Thursday. Scam Awareness Live. Appreciate y'all. Have a good one. And we shall close out with our song.
Yo, it's Jared in the booth, spitting scammer and truth. They fishing in your inbox, man, they stealing your youth. Phishing emails, got that urgent in the line. Click that link and your bank account's not fine. Fake tech support, they call you at noon. Your PC's infected, yeah, they're singing that tune. Pick butchering scams, back wallets to slice. Invest in the fake love, but you're paying the price. Scammer World 101, keep your eyes wide open. If the deal seems sweet, man, they're probably hoping. Snatch a cash, then you broke in despair. Stay woke, fuck you, well, man, these crooks don't care. Wrong number text, they pretend they know you. Acting all friendly till they ask for a few. Grandparent scam, your grandson's in jail. Send the bail quick or his freedom might fail. Arrest warrant scam, police are on the line. Pay now or else they're taking your time. Fake order text, your package is delayed. You click that link, boom, your data's displayed. They'll call, they'll text, they'll lie, they'll scheme. Play on your fears or sell you a dream. Be alert, my friend, don't take the bait. A second of caution could change your fate. Wrong number text, they pretend they know you. Acting all friendly till they ask for a few. Grandparent scam, your grandson's in jail. Send the bail quick or his freedom might fail. Arrest warrant scam, police are on the line. Pay now or else they're taking your time. Fake order text, your package is delayed. You click that link, boom, your data's displayed. They'll call, they'll text, they'll lie, they'll scheme. Play on your fears, they'll sell you a dream. Be alert, my friend, don't take the bait. A second of caution could change your fate.
See ya.